We have a plate of arancini to share between the two of us. Delicious. Thanks for recommending it, Yinny. I just like eating balls. Hello, and welcome to Pulsatio Cordis. This is a Yandere dating sim in which you manage to score a date with the most popular guy at school, Liev Latané. However, as the date goes on, you start to realize that maybe he's not as nice as you thought he was. Let's get started. I recently moved back to town, where I spent my childhood. We've only been back for a few months. My parents ran into financial troubles, so we sold our house and moved back here. I can't say I'm complaining. The city has its own ups and downs, and to be honest, I couldn't really get along with a lot of the kids at my old school. It feels so weird to how everything's changed since I was gone. Many of the shops and buildings I used to visit as a kid are gone, either torn down or replaced. More importantly, there's the people at my new school. I remember many of them from primary. I was even friends with some of them. Of course, you can't leave for 8 years, come back, then expect everyone to acknowledge you like they would have back then. The excitement of a new student in our year group fizzled out quickly. Soon, I went from being coddled by all the popular kids to barely even existing. So now I usually sit in a secluded corner of the school field, doing my best not to make it obvious that I'm sitting alone. That's kind of mood. That was like me in high school. Sometimes I'll talk to someone in class and get them to let me join their friend group, but it never lasts long. Oh man, that's actually kind of hitting home. Honestly, it feels kind of demoralizing. It's not as if I'm being outright bullied, but that almost feels better than just being ignored. I usually try to stay out of people's way, but when there's trouble, I can't help but want to get involved. Sure, maybe I just want the clout that could come from exposing some conspiracy to blow up the school, or some secret student-led drug traffic ring, but alas, I'm not that lucky. At one point, when I tried to defend a junior who was being harassed for the despicable crime of blocking off someone's locker, I was paid back dearly. They threatened to spread rumors about me all over school about my opinion on moving back. People would think I was shallow and spoiled, preferring the big city to our quaint little town, that I was calling it a shithole. I mean, what if it was a shithole? It would have ruined my reputation. But someone saved my life. His name was Liev Latané, the head boy of our school. Friendly to everyone, easygoing and polite. Everyone at school looks up to him, and not just because of his personality. He's also like the smartest guy there, and according to a lot of people, insanely attractive. Myself included, but that's beside the point. One day, I approached him in the hallway. I felt nervous but desperate. The people targeting me had blackmailed me into not reaching out to any faculty for help, and I didn't know what else I could do. But his kind smile helped calm me down, even if only just a little bit, and so I told him about what was happening to me. All I expected was advice. I knew Liev was a busy guy, but he told me not to worry, and that he would take care of it. A few days later, I found out that a further investigation was carried out. They discovered that the bullies had been smoking on school grounds, which led to them being expelled. Liev hadn't just taken care of the problem, he'd made sure that it would never spring up again. He was the first person in school to really care about me. I think that must have been the day I got a crush on him. Well, he seems pretty nice. So far, I left a letter in his locker today. It's probably going to be in vain, but best to be honest with my feelings, right? If he rejects me or doesn't respond, oh well. I can cry about it over the weekend and then just get over it. I'm used to that kind of treatment by now anyway. I turned on my phone and saw a new message from a number I didn't recognize. Unknown. Hi, is this Yinny Winters? It's Liev from high school. My heart skipped a beat at the message before I shook my head to clear it. It could just be a prank, I told myself. This is way too good to be true. I mentally debated whether or not to answer it. Eventually, curiosity got the better of me and I typed out a cautious response. Yeah? I don't want to sound rude, but how did you get my number? There were two possibilities here. Either Liev had found my attempt to confess hilarious and he was getting his friends to prank text me, or it really was him. I found myself wanting to be optimistic that it was the latter. From what I knew of him, he seemed far too mature for that kind of stuff anyway. His reply came within seconds of mine. You gave me your number in your letter today. My face flushed at the reminder of the stupid letter. Or the fact that I'd given him my number on the off chance he would actually respond. I'd been alternating between severely regretting it and feeling relieved that it was off my chest, and now, I'll be honest, I would not have the courage to give somebody a letter. I gave someone a letter once in primary school, and they read it out in front of the class and said I sucked. So yeah, that was the end of me ever giving anyone a letter. Oh, right. Sorry. I was just a little worried. It's okay. I should apologize too. It's always weird when you get random messages from people who aren't in your contacts. Yeah, but it's okay. Was Liev actually using an emoticon in his text? I didn't know why, but I found that kind of cute. He always struck me as the proper texter type, always using the correct grammar and spelling. As I sat there doing my best not to fawn over the fact that freaking Liev Latané was texting me, my phone pinged with another message. So, are you free tomorrow? What? Was he serious? Was Liev freaking Latané actually asking me out? Wait, but I asked first. That would make it him accepting my confession. Look at me go. I can't wait for it all to go to shit. Wait, what if he meant something else by that? What if he just wanted to hang out as friends? What if I stopped myself before I could go on a ramble of paranoid thoughts? This was the most popular guy at school, for God's sake. The guy I'm currently crushing on. I had to take the opportunity before it disappeared. But first, still in a mild state of disbelief, I made sure to confirm that it was indeed a date. Just to check. This is a date, right? Not just to hang out? Hey, call me overly paranoid. But I want to know now rather than later to save the disappointment. And that is the way to go. You never want to be disappointed ever. I briefly worried that he would take a long time to respond. But a mere moments later, my phone pinged again. Of course it's a date, silly. Why wouldn't it be? Hehe. I can't believe it. I'm going on a date with Liev Latané the next day. I'm finally here. After a 10-minute walk from the station, I cross the road until I'm in front of a big gate with an archway. Liev and I decide to go to the amusement park for our date, and hours right away. Our date! No matter how many times I repeat those two words to myself, I still can't quite believe that they're true, that this is really happening. I thought that the train ride would give me time to get myself together, but somehow, it's only made things worse. It only made me think of more ways this date could go wrong, and my family's teasing remarks before I left the house didn't help either. What if I accidentally spill something on him while we're having lunch? What if he makes a joke and I ugly laugh? What if I throw up on him while we're on a ride? What if... You get the idea. As of now, I'm having a lot of second thoughts about this. My feet move my body as if on autopilot. I walk through the entrance, scanning the area for Liev. Speaking of Liev, I finally got around to actually adding him to my contacts under his actual name rather than unknown. He sent me a cute text this morning, and I'm a little ashamed that I read it over and over again on the train. Good morning. I'm very excited for our date. See you soon. That's cute. Taking a deep breath, I do my best to calm the racing beat of my heart. I can't have him seeing me in a panic over a date like a love-struck schoolgirl. I look around, doing my best not to make it obvious that I'm looking for someone. Searching for a hand, waving me over, listening for a voice calling my name. Something. It dawns on me that I have no idea what he looks like outside of a school setting. I consider sending him a text to ask where he is. I turn on my phone to see a new message from him. Hey, I can see you. Look beside the leftmost ticket booth. I look towards the spot he pointed out and see someone waving at me. I walk over. I do my best not to think about my still racing heart. As I get closer, relief washes over me briefly at the realization that the person in front of me was indeed the person I'd expected to meet. But then the relief is replaced by a crushing nervousness. There he is. There he is, the man himself. Look at his red eyes. He's cute. Liev Latané, the most popular guy at school. And my date with him has officially begun. Hey, Yandere. What's up? I'm not gonna survive this. What do I say? I'm good. How are you? I'm great, now that you're here. Stop it. The pounding in my chest relaxes a bit. It's nice to know that he seems just as excited to see me as I am him. So how was your trip? Did you take the train? Yeah, it was good. If I could drive, I would have driven, but oh well. What about you? Did you drive? Yeah, I got my fulls recently. Damn, already? I don't even have my restricted yet. You know I can drive you home if you want. That way you won't have to pay for the fare back. Just like that. He's offering to drive me home. He seems way too good to be true. Way too good to be true. And also, Yandere, you're only saying that because you know that this is a Yandere game. I'm tempted to take the offer. But imagining being in this car with him, just the two of us for at least half an hour. Too much. It's too much. Besides, it's too early to say whether or not he'll want to go through with that by the end of the day. If I'm really lucky, he might even just ditch mid-date. Christ. The mere thought of that is bringing sweat to my palms. Part of me knows that it's irrational to be so cautious, that I need to consider every possible thing that could go wrong, but I can't help it. It's not every day that the head boy of your school agrees to go on a date with you. I mean, personally, I don't think that would have ever happened to me. Subconsciously, I rub my palm against my leg. Are you okay? Yeah, just a little nervous. This is the first time I've ever been on a date. Don't worry about it, it's mine too. It's a little surprising to hear that from someone so idolized by the school. Even though I already knew about the rumors, though I'm curious to know more about why he picked me of all people. I decide that this is a matter best left for later. We're still technically standing outside the amusement park. By now, we must look a little silly loitering about. So I point to the ticket booth, gesturing for him to follow. Come on, the parks are waiting. I think about taking his hand, but the very idea makes me almost combust. Instead, we walk together to the ticket booth. I pull out my wallet, intending on paying for mine myself, but Liev stops me, shielding my hand with his credit card. You don't need to do that. I can get my own ticket. But Liev shakes his head. Nah, it's okay. You did ask me out, so it's only fair. He is so cute. I'm about to argue his logic, but he smiles reassuringly at me, as if to say that it's no big deal. Sensing that he's not gonna budge, I shrug and tuck my wallet safely back into my bag. Part of me feels relieved that I'm going to be saving money today. The clerk hands us our tickets. Sweet. Have a good date, you two. We will, thank you. Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Wait, oh, I guess I can count it as a win? I saw the head boy blush. Look at him blush. The garden is gorgeous. Rose bushes line the pebbled pathways, and archways made of greenery and flowers greet us as we stroll past. I'm feeling better and calmer than earlier. The sight of the pretty flowers also helped. So how's school been going? I suppressed the urge to snort. Please, we've finally reached the weekend and you want to talk about school? Well, it's kind of my job, isn't it? To represent the school? Well, yeah, but you're off duty. It's the weekend. Surely there are better things we can talk about. Fine, you're off the hook. Scary. The big bad head boy is abusing his privileges on a poor defenseless student. Hey, you've had your fun. No need to rub salt in the wound. Oh, how true is that actually gonna be? We share a laugh at that little jest. It feels good, sharing such a light moment with someone I'd seen as so intimidating before. Ah, that was really nice. Yinny, I haven't laughed like that in a while. Why? Is the great Liev Latané too high and mighty even for a little chuckle? I meant for my comment to be a light teasing jab, but the sudden frown on his face makes my mouth clamp shut. I rub my forearm consciously. Crap, I'm sorry. Did I go too far? No, it's not that. You're right. I've been way too high-strung over the past few weeks, trying to manage everything going on. My heart sinks to my stomach. I should have known better than to insult him so casually, even if I only meant it as a joke. I'm sorry. I didn't mean what I said. I know. It's okay. Can we sit down for a minute? My head is killing me. Sure. We head over to the nearest bench. Liev sits down, and I follow, sitting a little away from him to give him some space. Oh, did I screw things up? He glances at me with a strangely disappointed look but says nothing. We sit in silence together for a few minutes. I want to say something, but I worry that he's not in the mood for a chat. Yet I can't help but be even more worried about what he could be going through. What if holding it in was the reason for him feeling so down? I knew more than anything about how that felt, so I take the plunge and ask him the question. Liev, do you want to talk about it? He glances at me looking surprised. He doesn't answer right away, probably trying to gather his words. It occurs to me that he probably doesn't get to do that often. Being head student required that you always looked and acted your best. Someone who was too open and complained about their problems a lot wouldn't exactly give the school a good look. I think I'm just a little stressed. A little? He sighs, defeated. Okay, maybe a lot. Of course he was under a lot of stress. Aside from being head boy, he was the leader of 2 clubs and a UN youth rep. If I were in his position, I wouldn't even be able to function under the crushing pressure. I think of what to say in response, something to help ease his burden. I'm here to listen. If you want to tell me about it, it's not a guarantee that I can help and I feel bad about it. But I also have no idea what it's like to be in a position of leadership, let alone several. I can only hope that by listening, he'll be able to unload any worries plaguing his mind. There's just a lot's going on right now, especially since we're heading towards the end of the year. I have so much to do, so much to think about. We have an athletics tournament coming up, and I've pretty much been in charge of training since the co-leader has been slacking off. There's a competition coming up for the debate team too, and we've all been training extra hard so we can take the cup home again this year. And next weekend, I have a meeting for UN Youth, so I'll have to get up early and drive a few hours to get to the venue, all on top of studying for external exams and applying for scholarships. It almost feels like too much. Sometimes I just want to curl up in bed and stop coming to school. I knew he was stressed, but up until now, I had no idea just how stressed. God, my troubles seem so minuscule compared to his. His schedule must be crazy packed, and he must have foregone at least a few commitments to be able to make it today. I'm really sorry that you have to go through that. Have you been able to talk to anyone about it? Friends? Family? He must have at least had some support system he can count on to be able to handle so much stress. To my surprise, Liev shakes his head. The people in the student council have their own things to worry about, and I'm not really close to anyone in my extended family. What about your parents? They haven't been much help. This is kind of the bare minimum they expect from me. So in other words, Liev has tiger parents that encourage his overachiever behavior. How wonderful. That's a little screwed up. I get that they're your parents and they only want to see you succeed, but can't they do anything to help? Maybe let you see a therapist? With Liev's parents apparently being a renowned psychiatrist and lawyer, I was sure that they had to be rolling in dough. Therapists should be a small price to pay for the sake of their son's mental health. It's not that simple. My parents are both workaholics. They never really have any time to spend with me, especially recently since they both went away on business. Okay, the situation was a little more complicated than I thought. I knew that therapy wasn't the be-all and end-all solution to things, but from the stories I read online it was a step in the right direction. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to assume. No, it's okay. It's not exactly a situation with a single concrete solution. Still, you shouldn't have to shoulder all of that by yourself. It's not healthy. Real rich coming from the girl who's hiding her anxiety from her parents. But this isn't about me. It's about Liev and his problems. I'll tell you what, if nothing else, I'm here for you. You can talk to me about whatever's bothering you. It's a good thing we have each other's numbers now, eh? And this is the moment where he falls for us and goes full Yandere, isn't it? Normally I'd be a little apprehensive to say that to someone I barely knew, but Liev had been so kind, accommodating my tendency to overthink things, and reassuring me that I had nothing to be sorry for. I want to repay him in some way. Even if I wouldn't always know what to do, I want him to know that I would always be willing to lend a listening ear. Thank you, Yinny. You're the first person to say that to me. And here is the moment in which you can pinpoint the Yandere falling in love with us. Really? Haven't any of your friends ever said that they'll be there for you? Yeah, but you're the first person to actually try to discuss my problems. People on the student council usually go for the toxic positivity route, saying that I just need to cheer up and stuff, that life only gets tougher as we get older. Well, damn, maybe you need to get some new friends. Ah yes, I'll just calm down. Thanks so much, my anxiety is now cured. Liev cracks up laughing at my joke, and I find myself joining him, the sound of his laughter contagious. I'm glad I managed to make him smile like that. It looks different, more genuine than the polite ones he gives people at school. Aw, cute. Come to think of it, Liev is acting more relaxed right now than he usually does. He's usually so prim and proper, even with his approachable demeanor, but I shrug it off as him just being different outside of school. Perhaps this is how he acted around his friends. Hey Yinny, what you said earlier about getting new friends. I think I'll take that suggestion. Oh no, here we go. So how about being my new best friend? I'm dumbfounded by his straightforwardness. What? Liev Latané, the most popular guy at school, wants me to be his best friend. A deep flush spreads across my cheeks, as if this week wasn't crazy enough already. In the span of a few days, I'd gone from a nobody to becoming the first person in our senior year to date the head boy. Is that a yes? Yes. Yeah, of course, but isn't it a little late to ask me to be your friend? I mean, we're literally on a date together. A romantic one. Stop teasing me, Yinny. Hehe. Please, don't provoke the great Liev Latané, or I might just have to tell on you. I snort at his ridiculous threat. Oh, dear me. Please don't. Anything but that. Liev and I dissolve into another fit of laughter. The atmosphere is at last light once again, all worries temporarily forgotten. Hey, Yinny. Yeah? Thank you. Oh, he's so cute. For hearing me out, for listening to my problems. I really do appreciate it. While the sincerity in his voice is also appreciated, it causes all sorts of warm and fuzzy feelings to flutter about inside me. It's no problem. Liev reaches into his pocket to check his phone. Ah, it's almost lunchtime. Wanna go find somewhere to eat? Yep, I'm starving. And so we leave the garden, with him hopefully having a clearer mind and me with a spring in my step. The restaurant we settled on was a quaint building that served Italian cuisine. When we step inside, the smell of freshly baked dough hits my nose, and a wonderful aroma that makes my stomach growl. Whoops. Pardon me, Liev merely smiles at my antics. The menu pretty much only has pizza or pasta options available, with a few yummy-looking dessert options. Hey Yinny, what are you gonna get? Good question. I have no idea. Just like me, huh? There's so many options. What do I want to get for the main? I'll get pizza, and I'll get mushroom. I guess I'll get a funky pizza. Sounds good. I'll get the same. I feel flattered that Liev is imitating me. Well, either that or he just happened to want the same thing that I did, though there's still the issue of the price. I know I have some money left over from this week's paycheck, but knowing how they like to gouge prices at places like this, I'll cover the bill. You didn't have to worry. What? Seriously, you don't have to. Don't worry about it, honestly. I want to treat you. I mean, maybe you can treat me to something else later if you know what I mean. I know that he probably gets a hefty allowance from his parents, but I feel bad taking advantage of my date like this. Well, let Liev pay. Alright, great. As we place the order, guilt begins to settle in the pit of my stomach. I hadn't wanted to make Liev take care of everything, but he had insisted that it was alright, so I accepted the offer. Though he seems to glow as we finish ordering and wait for someone else to show us our seats. It doesn't seem like the idea of paying for everything bothered him at all. He catches my worried gaze and flashes me a reassuring smile. A waiter soon ushers us to a table right by the window. It gives us a nice view of outside, even if the crowded attractions and rides aren't exactly poetry material. We sit there in silence for a little while. I think of Liev's forlorn expression from earlier, when he poured out his feelings for what was probably the first time in a while. Aww. I kind of just realized he reminds me of Elle from Death Note, and I used to have the biggest crush on Elle from Death Note. Maybe he still has those troubles on his mind. He hasn't tried to make small talk since we ordered our food. Maybe I shouldn't have accepted his offer. I probably look like a gold digger at this point. I can't let him wallow in those thoughts. I have to distract him somehow. With those thoughts in mind, I open my mouth to speak. Hey, are you feeling any better? A non-response. He must still be a little hung up on the earlier topic. I try to come up with something to say that'll distract him, something nice and hopeful. So, what are your plans after graduation? I don't think that's good. People were usually eager to talk about post-graduation plans, right? It was the point at which they weren't obligated to follow a set path anymore. I don't think he's gonna like that conversation. Some talked about going to their dream uni, others talked of taking paid apprentices. Others talked of taking a gap year to travel overseas, but only when the words left my lips did I realize that maybe Liev might be the exception. What if his parents' controlling nature extended beyond high school? What if I was only reminding him further of how much pressure he was under? I wanted to take the words back and apologize for crying, but to my surprise, Liev actually answered, "I'm gonna attend university in Auckland." Nice. Are you gonna stay in the hall? Yeah, I guess that'll be more convenient. Sounds exciting. I'm really happy for you. I'm sure you'll do great. Despite the mild pang of loneliness I feel at the idea of him leaving, I do fully mean my words. Liev had worked hard for his future. If he wanted to leave our small town to pursue his passions, then who was I to stop him? I considered cracking a joke about how short-lived our relationship had been, but I decided against it. I'm not gonna throw a pity party over this. Thank you. What about you? What are your plans? Hopefully get married to you? There it was, the dreaded question. I play with my fingers as I try to come up with a decent answer. Ultimately, as of my joke idea, I decide against it. If Liev could trust me with his vulnerabilities, then surely I could trust him with mine. I sigh. I don't actually know yet, to be honest. I feel silly. I know I've had almost 3 years to think about it, but I just haven't decided yet. I know I want to do something that relates to helping people. I'm just not sure what exactly. And I can't ignore my anxiety either. If I can't somehow deal with it, I'm not sure how I'll be able to cope in the working world. Worst case scenario, I guess I'll just take a gap year and work. I can take more time to figure things out. I see. That's understandable. Not everyone is ready to decide what they want to do straight out of high school. Yeah, when I was being interviewed by the dean, she gave me a bunch of career ideas, but they all involved a ton of social interaction, like with patients. Psychologist, psychiatrist, nurse, and so on. Must have been awkward. Yeah, as of yet, I'm really not sure. Maybe I need to look into my options a bit more. That's like me. When I graduated, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I feel like it's near impossible for you to know where you want to go as soon as you graduate. And despite changing career paths, I turned out fine. I think. I'm sure whatever decision you make will be the right choice. But not to sound biased. If you end up going to Auckland, let me know, alright? We might see each other around. I will. That at least is a silver lining. Liev still wants to see me again one way or another. It's when the waiter approaches our table and serves our appetizers and drinks, apologizing for the long wait. I hadn't even noticed the time passing by, but I'm also glad to finally have something to eat. We have a plate of arancini to share between the two of us with a side of salad. Each bowl had been sliced in half so that the filling was visible. I take a piece and take a bite. Crunchy, cheesy, and warm. It hits all the right spots. The rest of the half quickly disappears. I want arancini. Isn't that good? Let me try. This is delicious. Thanks for recommending it, Yinny. You're welcome. I just like eating balls, if you know what I mean. No problem. I have an aunt that brings these over sometimes. Her recipe's a bit different, but I love them too. I've been looking for a new recipe to learn, actually. Any chance I could steal it off her? Wait, you cook? Yeah, it's a little hobby of mine. Man, he is really setting himself up to just be Mr. Perfect, but Mr. Perfect with a seriously bad catch. Against my better judgment, I start imagining a situation where we're a couple living together in an apartment. Maybe somewhere in Auckland. One weekend morning I would wake up and head to the kitchen still half asleep, and Liev would still be at the stove, cooking breakfast for the both of us. I'd wrap my arms around him from behind, lean my head on his shoulder, and then he'd turn around to kiss me and say that breakfast will be ready soon. Yinny? Sorry. Were you saying something? I shake the fantasy out of my head. How ridiculous. For one, we would never be able to afford a place like that in Auckland. But two, we're on our first date. Why am I already imagining us living together? Nothing. You just look like you're spacing out. Are you okay? I'm fine. No need to worry. You were saying something about, cooking being your hobby? Ah, yes. I find it relaxing and practical. I'm in the cooking club at school, though I don't usually have the time to go to meetings. But enough about me. What about you? What do you like to do outside of school? Here we go again. Man, I hate questions like this. Alright, let's think. I guess I like... Though my voice sometimes shakes from nerves, I find it surprisingly easy to talk to Liev. He listens to everything I say attentively, occasionally making insightful comments about the subjects that I bring up. When I bring up the fact that I play piano, something flashes in his eyes, but he merely smiles and says that he thinks that it's a pretty instrument. It wouldn't surprise me if he was learning it. He just seems like a classy guy. When I finally finish rambling, Liev grins, amazed. I never knew he had so many cool interests. I can't believe we didn't go on a date sooner. Does he really think that highly of me? A flush threatens to burn up my cheeks. Thank you, and sorry for talking about myself for so long. Don't apologize. I really like listening to you. Aww. Man, you are really making me fall for your trap right now. I do my best to hide just how much that small comment is affecting me. This is the first time someone at school has said that to me. And it's the head boy of all people. So what about you? What do you like to do in your free time? Oh, I'm nobody special. No, elaborate. What do you like to do in your free time? I know it's something screwed up. Come on, the head boy is nobody special. You've heard pretty much what all of senior year thinks about you, right? I've told you about myself. I want to know more about you too. Alright, ask me anything you want. How many people have you killed? Now's my chance. Do you have any pets? Not at the moment, but I did have a cat when I was younger. I have a cat too. She's over on the side here. Her name is Baldurs. What was her name? His full name was Sibylka? It's Ukrainian for little onion. My mom always just called him Onion. She would speak Russian to him and encourage me to do it since she said it would let me practice. The mental image of Kid Liev chatting to his cat might just make my heart melt. He was a good kitty, but the best thing about him was how good of a hunter he was. Seriously. Yep, it might sound weird, but at one point I thought of how useful he would be if disaster struck. He could hunt for food where it would be too dangerous for me to go. Honestly, it was impressive. Mice, frogs, birds, insects. One time he even brought back a half-dead rabbit. Not the most appetizing, but it would at least be a source of protein. What a good kitty! He really was. So what about you, Yinny? No, we can't really afford to keep one at the moment. That's a shame. If you could have one, what would you want? Turning the question around, eh? Come on, I'm curious. Fine, I'll indulge you. If I could have a pet, I would get a cat. A fellow cat person. Thanks. Maybe when I finish uni and find a decent place to live, I'll consider adopting one. Let me know when you do, okay? Of course. Where are you from? So I hope this question doesn't come off weird, but I've heard rumors around school about you being from somewhere in Europe. That you're half so-and-so, etc.? Is that true? Were you born in New Zealand? I was. Why is that even a topic at school? Sorry, you know how nosy people can be, and I guess I'm not helping by asking you. You don't have to share anything you don't want to. It's okay. I don't mind telling you. Thank you for being considerate, though. I was born and raised here, but my dad is French-American and my mom is Russian. That's all there is to it. I don't see why people want to know about that stuff so badly. Yeah, sorry for asking such a personal question. I was really curious. No worries. I don't mind if you're the one asking. Hehe, are you fluent in French or Russian? I guess. I speak to my parents mostly. Other than talking to exchange students, I don't really speak either often. That's really cool, though. I wish I had the time to learn another language. I'm barely even fluent in my own. Don't say that, you're a good speaker, Yinny. But if you want, I don't mind teaching you. Do you think that could be a fun idea for a date? You wanna go on a second date with me? Oh, I am falling for this hook, line, and sinker. Sounds great. Are you sure though? I don't wanna mess up your schedule. Of course, I'll always make time for you. Hehe, stop it. How is Liev so good at saying things that make me feel warm inside? Do you have any siblings? You talked about your parents before, but what about your siblings? Is something wrong? Why is he frowning? No, it's okay. I don't mind. I did have an older sister, but we're not exactly on talking terms at the moment. Oh, I'm sorry. She moved out years ago. We haven't spoken since. Why did I even bring that up? Now I'm gonna put him in a bad mood all over again. I feel even worse when I think about how his parents are treating him. It must be awful not to even have an older sibling to turn to. Liev's expression is unreadable, but I can tell that he's waiting for me to say something. Distract him. I've got a sibling too. A little brother. I wonder if Liev might find it insensitive for me to mention my own sibling. But to my surprise, he looks at me curiously. Really? What year is he in? Year 9. Even if he can be a pain sometimes, it's kind of adorable to see him carrying around so many books, asking me for help with maths and stuff. You seem like a great big sister. Thank you. We have our ups and downs, but in the end, I wouldn't trade him for anyone else. That's good. I'm glad that at least you and your brother get along well. I hope that I made him feel better, and not just given him a cruel reminder of what he doesn't have. I hope so. I hope he doesn't use that as an excuse to kill me later. Favorite food? Huh? I guess it's funky pizza? You guess? He said exactly what I ordered for lunch. Speaking of which, it's taking an awfully long time. The waiter had already apologized for the delay earlier. What could have happened to cause another one? Sorry, it's not really something I've given much thought about. I just said that because it was the first thing that came to mind. Nah, I get it. Sorry as well. Those kinds of questions always put me on the spot, but I'm also really bad with asking questions. You need to apologize too. But yeah, those questions are just so deceptively simple. Yet the moment you have to answer them, your brain just blanks. Exactly. It's kind of flattering that the first thing that came to his mind was something that I liked as well. Even if it might not be that deep. Why did you pick me? Yeah, why did you pick me? Is this a prank? It was a question I'd had on my mind ever since yesterday. And now I've asked him. My mind races with hundreds of possibilities. Most of them nonsensical, some straight out of a teen romance novel. But none of them can even begin to ease the anxiety building up within me, as the question is finally said out loud. Still, I want to know. I need to know. Yinny, why do you even need to ask? It's obvious. You're kind and brave. empathetic and considerate. Heh? Why wouldn't I fall for you? Whoa, already? That's not what I meant. There's so many other people in our year with their eyes on you. So many who are also kind and brave and considerate and empathetic and actually have a presence at school. I'm just a random nobody who can barely hold a conversation without panicking. What I'm saying is that out of everyone else, why would you pick me? You wanna know the truth, Yinny? Well, it's because I love you. What? His eyes just lost all their sparkle. His eyes just went dull. Oh my god. You're the only one for me. You've always been. Everyone else can burn in hell. Oh, buddy. Dare I say, not that this is shito again, even though I'm the one who chose to play this game and I'm having a great time. What? Am I hallucinating? I have to be. There's no way Liev just said those things. There's no way he just looked at me in such a disturbing manner. God, the expression change was so subtle, and it was done so well. It really caught me off guard. I was like, I wonder how he's gonna look when he's a yandere, and it just, ooh. Yinny, are you okay? You're spacing out again. Is something wrong? It's nothing. I just thought I want to be honest with him. But what if I accidentally insult him for real? There will be no coming back from that. I just thought I saw something weird. Okay, he looks unconvinced and I can't blame him. But how do I even begin to explain what I thought I saw and heard? I tried to clear the air with more small talk. Anyway, the food sure is taking a while, don't you think? Ugh, I know. Sorry about this, Yinny. Let's go somewhere else next time. I'm about to tell him that there's no need to apologize, when the waiter from earlier practically dashes to our table sending down a tray of dishes. I'm so sorry for the wait again. There was a huge problem in the kitchen and we only just managed to resolve it. Here's a free pack of garlic bread for your troubles. I hope you still enjoy the food. No, it's okay, we get it. No sooner had he spoken, he immediately left, probably horrified and embarrassed, having to be the one to serve the delayed food. Oh my god. Holy shit. Yeah, holy shit indeed. What kind of look is that? What an arsehole. Can't he see that we were talking? Leave! What? Don't you see, Yinny? I know his trick. Acting apologetic and giving you free stuff to get in your favor. But he's the waiter. He has to act like that since we're customers. I don't care. There was a glint in his eyes when he looked at you. He was doing it to steal your attention away, I know it. Liev! I'm here with you! What is going on? 1 minute, Liev was acting like the sweetest boy in the world, and the next he's glaring daggers at the waiter for doing his job. Liev! Huh? My voice is so loud that a few other patrons inside glance in our direction. I lower my voice, but it's no less firm than before. You're making me really uncomfortable with how you're acting. I'm gonna say, are you okay? Because I don't want him to, kill me yet. So, are you okay? Okie dokie. Well, am I onion rings? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Yinny. These feelings are almost too much. I want to hold you. And at the same time, I want to murder everyone in this building. Liev Latané. What the actual hell? Part of me still wonders if I'm not hallucinating. That if I pinch myself, I'll wake up in bed and the whole date with Liev would just be a very strange dream. But this, it feels too real. And I can clearly hear the bustling sounds of the restaurant, smell of the food in front of me, and see Liev grinning dementedly. What have I gotten myself into? The food. We better eat it before it goes cold. There are so many questions running through my mind. But Liev just goes on as if he hadn't just scared the living shit out of me. By now I lost all my appetite, but I can't afford to waste the food, especially not food that someone else paid for, even if that person just so happens to be crazy. Alright then, good. Maybe I can ask him some questions while we're eating. Play it off as me wanting to know more about him. Hey, Liev? Yeah, Yinny? I'll never get tired of saying your name. He might have been trying to sound romantic, but his words only send a chill down my spine. Is it alright if I ask you some more questions? I've always wanted to know more about you. Yinny is so sweet. Of course, ask anything. Anything you want. Okay, so I was wondering, what exactly happened to those guys who were harassing me? How did the school figure out that they smoked? Yinny, you shouldn't concern yourself with them anymore. I'm not concerned, just curious. I want to know what evidence they found. You're so smart, Yinny. You want to know the truth, don't you? Shit, he saw right through me, but I can't act scared. So I just nod. The truth is, I forged it. So he got people expelled over a lie. It was easy. All I had to do was bribe them into holding on to a packet of cigarettes. From there, it was as simple as reporting them to the dean. Apparently, the fools couldn't even keep their word. The dean found used cigarette butts in their lockers. Then they were gone, just like that. Can't have a bunch of smokers tarnishing the school's reputation, can we? How does she not suspect you? She can never suspect the righteous head boy who'd reported them in the first place. Why? Why go so far? Because it was all for you. I would do anything for you, Yinny. Okie dokie. You're still really hot though. Anything. Alright then. Had you asked, I would have slaughtered them like they deserve. Okay, pack it up, guys. How can you say things like that? They might have been horrible, but they're still people. You understand the meaning of what you're saying, right? Oh, I understand perfectly well, but I don't care about them. They're insignificant to me. You can't seem to see the situation from my point of view. These are real people, with their own lives, their own families. It's horrifying to imagine being the reason for someone losing their child or sibling. What if that had been your friend? It's the same difference. I'd kill them for you too. And make them suffer for it. You would kill your own friends. For me. They're not really my friends. They're just high-status shields. If I'm nice to them, they'll shut down anything bad others might say about me. Meaning people can trust me, and thus be useful to me. Oh, you are a monster. Everything I've known about Liev is crumbling to dust. Was this who Liev truly was all along? Hiding behind a handsome face and a kind smile. Yes. Yes. Yinny, are you scared of me? Who wouldn't be? This is who I really am. I can't hide it from you anymore. Do you hate me? Do you think I'm a monster? That's not it. I should report him to the police. He's just given me a detailed confession of an actual crime. Not to mention his current demeanor. But given how easily he'd be able to fool the Dean, I doubt that's even an option. And speaking of his demeanor, how do I know that I'll live to tell the tale? I don't doubt that he's capable of murder, given how intelligent he is. But at the same time, he keeps insisting that he would do anything for me. Why would he be willing to go so far? Unless he plans on using me too, all at once. Everything is too much. My heart pounds against my ribcage and sweat pools in my palms. Well, there I go. It's worse than anything I've ever experienced. The world feels like it's spinning out of control. What am I gonna do? What the hell am I going to do? I vaguely register Liev tugging me out of my chair and towards the instinct. Screams at me to struggle. But anxiety renders me a marionette of my own panic. I'm helpless, as Liev leads me out of the restaurant and onto the park grounds. Well, this sucks. When I come to, I look around and find myself back in the gardens, the place where Liev had fooled me into feeling sorry for him. Speak of the devil. He's sitting beside me, keeping his distance, but no less of a looming threat. Yinny, are you feeling better? How can he act like a concerned boyfriend right now, when just minutes ago? Why did you bring me here? Because you're panicking. I wanted to bring you somewhere quiet, somewhere you could calm down. You think I'll believe you when you were just talking about killing people? How do I know you won't try to kill me as well? No, I wouldn't kill you, Yinny, I could never. Then why? Why do you act like that? Sweet one moment, then murderous the next. Are you trying to trick me? I just wanted one good day. One good day with someone who liked me. I do like you, Yinny. I love you. I always have. No wonder I'm so gullible that I actually believed that the most popular guy at school liked me. I guess I can only blame myself. Stop saying those things. You're so perfect. Perfect. I've watched you. You say you're a nobody, but that isn't true. You're so kind and considerate. You pick up other people's rubbish, you feed stray animals, and you even defend people who are being bullied. Given how he's been acting, I shouldn't be surprised, but he stalks me. Just my luck that I get an actual crazy stalker as my first date. I don't understand. You should be bitter like me. But you're not. You're empathetic and understanding and so kind, and what do you want from me? Am I a charity case to you? Are you trying to shower me with affections so you can show off to everyone how oh so gracious you are? That's not it at all. I don't care about anyone else. You're the only person who matters. Please believe me, Yinny. All I want is to be with you and make you happy. And if that means getting rid of a few pests along the way, then so be it. I don't know if I can. What you said here earlier, did you really mean it? Or was that all a lie to get me to feel bad for you? I would never lie to you, Yinny. I really was stressed. From all the fake smiles I had to give, from all the work I was doing to appear normal. If you hadn't asked me out, I probably would have killed those guys anyway. There's no more denying it. Liev really is just that unstable. I have to think of something. A way to get out of here, to subdue him. Something. I had originally thought of continuing to date him until he slipped up. Gave me irrefutable evidence. Then I could report him to the police and prevent him from harming anyone else. But with how easily he'd seen through my ruse, what would that actually work? And I also can't deny his feelings. No one would be that persistently affectionate if they were just trying to fool someone. And no one would go as far as expulsion and threats of murder. It would have been kinda nice for him to be so devoted had he been a normal boy. Alas, I'm not that lucky. In that case, there must be a way to help him. Or at least to find him some help. I just have to get through the rest of this date. If I end it now, he might assume the worst. I also have to watch what I say and do. One wrong move, Liev might stab the next person to glance in my direction. Okay. I think I've calmed down now. let's go do something. We're still on a date after all. Hold on, you didn't answer my question earlier. Do you think I'm a monster? Yes? If I answer honestly, he'll definitely take it the wrong way. But if I lie, he might see through it. So what should I do? For the sake of the game, I am gonna lie. Yay, lack of self-preservation. Liv, why would you think that? Maybe you're a little eccentric, but isn't everyone? Not me. All I want to do is touch wimwams and kiss Blade from Honkai Star Rail. I don't go around wanting to kill people. Yinny, you don't have to say things to spare my feelings. I can handle it. Handle these nuts. This is coming from the guy who threatened to kill an employee for doing their job. I don't think so. I mean it. You're not a monster, but I do have a request. A request? Don't talk about murder so casually, please. Even if you're doing it for me. It ruins the mood, you know? It's scary. Of course, of course. So stupid, stupid, stupid. Of course I scare you. Of course. Liev, come on. Let's continue our date. I still want to enjoy our time together. Don't you want that too? Of course I do. Then let's decide right now. Where do you want to go next? I don't mind. Whatever you need wants I want. Okay, but if I wasn't a factor in the decision, what would you choose? Well, I wouldn't be here in the first place if not for you, but I guess maybe. The haunted house. Do you like that idea? Suggesting that after we just had a talk about scary things. Actually, that seems pretty in character for Liev, but at least he's making the decision instead of deferring to me. Sounds fun. Let's go then. Are you scared? Of the ghosts or of you? Don't worry, I'll protect you. You can hold on to me if it gets too much. Hey, I can handle myself just fine, thank you very much. Let's see this date through to the end, starting with the haunted house. We arrived there quickly. It's only a few minutes' walk from the gardens. It's styled like an abandoned mansion with dark hallways and dimly lit windows. This reminds me of the Dine map on Lethal Company. Liev follows me like a puppy the whole way. Even when this was his idea, he seems to find some weird joy in trailing behind me. Before, I would have found it kinda cute. Now it's just unsettling. No offense, but do you have to do that? You know you can walk beside me, there's enough space. It's okay. I just want to make sure that nothing can sneak up on you from behind. I guess that's a good point. But doesn't that leave us vulnerable to things in front of us? Of course. You're so observant. Don't worry. I'll protect you from all the scary stuff. Liev strides over to stand in front of me. No more than a step away. He's so close. I could have taken his arm. But the lingering unease of what happened earlier keeps me from doing so. As if reading my mind, Liev holds out his arm invitingly. Hold on to me. I don't mind, really. That's alright. I'll be fine. Liev pouts, whispering something under his breath. Fortunately, I'm close enough to hear what it is. Oh, no need to be shy. I'm not shy. I'm cautious. It's okay. The offer's always open, though. Thanks. Well, I've always avoided haunted houses. There are scarier things out there, like the guy in front of me. Even if he didn't mean to scare me, I still can't bring myself to trust him. The best thing I do right now is to keep my distance and hope that things won't go badly. Okay, well this looks horrifying. And it looks like things are about to go badly. Yay! Why did I agree to do this? I knew that I don't cope well in these kinds of places. We've already been jumped by a withered butler and a ghost maid popping out of the door. Somehow both managed to catch me off guard. And by that, I mean scare me shitless. At least Liev is dealing with the jump scares well. In fact, he doesn't appear to react to them at all. He just stares each one down with an impassive expression. Man, how are you doing that? Doing what? Being so calm. I mean, you haven't made a single sound this whole time. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to react, to be honest. Scared? Adrenaline rush? It's all fake anyway. I thought people liked guys like that. You do you not? I can act scared too if it helps. No, that's okay. Me, I'm just really bad with haunted houses. I thought so, but why didn't you say anything earlier? Because I want to try something new. Come on, I'm a grown-up now, you don't have to worry so much. Not the most airtight reasoning, but at least Liev didn't press any further. Okay, but if it gets too much, just let me know. Sure. Thanks. We keep walking towards the end of the hallway, passing by more closed doors. Anticipation builds up for one of them to burst open and for something to jump at me, but there's nothing. Nah, there is so gonna be something. How boring. Try relieving. It's quiet. Too quiet. Far too quiet. We've reached some kind of cellar now, and nothing has tried to scare us since we left the hallway. I should have calmed down after having some respite, but the complete silence, combined with my unease, does nothing to help. No! This reminds me of a place in Phasma when I'm scared. Liev is apathetic to the situation as ever, though he stays close out of concern. At least I hope that's why. Okay, time to shit on my pants. Oh no, there's that smile again. You know when we're this close together, I can feel it. I can feel your body heat right against me. Okay, buddy. This is not the place for us to fandangle. We are in a haunted house. It's addicting. So addicting. I wanna breathe. Oh my god. Who? What did he even say? I wanna breathe you in and bathe in your scent forever and oh my god. Okay, what if I fart though? Ah! Yes, Yinny, that is a very, very good scream. Take Liev's hand. I totally got you. Are you okay? You're as pale as a ghost. Wait, I'll leave you two alone now. Are you okay, Yinny? What? You're actually... What is there to say? I cling tighter to his hand, averting my eyes, letting my actions speak for themselves. Oh, that's cute. I've always wanted this to happen, but now that it's really come true. Yinny, please do come closer. I don't bite. I'm sure you do, not giving me the chance to respond. He uses my death grip to pull me so that my head rests against his chest. His scent of light cologne and freshly washed laundry is much stronger here. In other circumstances, it would be comforting. Still, as he wraps his arms around me, stroking my back in a soothing motion, holding me like any normal boyfriend would. His closeness calms my racing heartbeat. Nay, feeling better? You've stopped shaking. I nod, letting my head sink against his warmth. That's good. I'm glad. So glad. But now, my own heart won't calm down. Can you hear it, Yinny? It's beating so fast because of you. I sure can hear it. I could stay here forever, holding you. You. And I really thought you would hate me after what happened earlier. I've been contemplating my feelings for him ever since that revelation, but despite everything, I can't find it in myself to truly hate him. Girl! Deep inside, I can only see Liev as someone who's deeply struggling with an intense obsession. In a way, he's like me. Obsessing over how I look in front of others, being paranoid over things that normal people wouldn't even bat an eye over. Does that make me stupid? Maybe, but all the same, if there's some way I can help him. Liev, you know I don't actually hate you, right? I'm glad. I'm so glad to hear. I love you, Yinny. I can't express that enough. My world is so much brighter with you. Is he saying that from his heart, or is it just coming from his obsession? And why am I pondering this stuff in the middle of a haunted house? Sure, it's important, but it's something I'd rather ask him in broad daylight. I pry myself out of his arms. He looks at me, as if he had just been snapped out of a deep trance. Let's keep going. We should be close to the end. He pouts, cute enough to almost make me forget the kind of person he really is. All right, if we really have to. To my surprise, being scared so badly meant that the rest of the journey wasn't as terrifying. Some of the pop-ups still made me jump, but at least I managed to keep myself from screaming again. Still, seemingly floating on cloud 9, Liev kept a hold of my hand the whole way. Pace relaxed, as if we were just taking a leisurely stroll. Did you enjoy that, Yinny? To be very honest, no, I did not. I never want to go to a haunted house again. That's alright, we don't have to anymore. Especially not with that stupid girl around. And what about you? It was fine. I don't usually care for things like this. Didn't he suggest it in the first place? I'm just happy it brought us closer together. In a literal sense. I'd at least like for that to happen again. And come to think of it, he seems strangely apathetic to a lot of things that don't involve me, though he is in charge of all those clubs. Before I can ask him to elaborate, Liev speaks again. Anyway, it's your turn to decide. Where do you want to go next? Well, after such a harrowing experience, I just want to be as far away from the place as possible. Guys, look, it's my cat. That gives me an idea. What about the arcade? That place would have a minimal fear factor, which would come with the bonus of not triggering mine or Liev's paranoia. That was the most important part. That sounds fun. Alright, we can't waste any more time. Let's go. He tugs on my hand and I follow him out the door without hesitation. The sunny amusement park is a welcome sight, after spending so much time in an enclosed dark space. Liev is still in an upbeat mood, humming a strangely familiar tune as he swings our linked hands back and forth. I can never really get used to him being so happy just being around me. It's a stark contrast to how I was treated at school. I guess it's nice. I just wish he didn't have to take it so far. Yinny, what game should we play? As long as it's not horror-themed, I'm down for anything. Of course, but do you have anything particular in mind? Well, there's a claw machine game I kinda like. They have some nice prizes. What kinds? Mostly just stuffed animals and candy. The stuffed animals are really cute though. I have a couple at home. Wait, what am I saying? I sound like a little kid. Anyway, they have other games as well. If you like those better. It doesn't matter. You like it, right? So let's go ahead and play it. Wait, so you don't mind that I still... Of course not. Anything Yinny likes is more than good enough for me. Do you not have a sense of self outside of me? Oh, okay then. It's a little silly for me to be so worried about his opinion, isn't it? He's never exactly expressed disapproval except for when I'm being self-deprecating, still. And speaking of things someone likes. So what do you usually do after school? I asked him something similar at lunch, but he brushed it aside. This time I wouldn't let it go so easily. I guess the usual things. Study, maybe some revision if there's a test coming up. Anything else? Like anything unrelated to school? Is there anything else a student should be doing? I mean, what do you like to do, besides that stuff? He stares at me for so long that I wonder if I've offended him somehow. Did I say something? There is one thing. I recently started learning piano. Huh. So my inkling at the restaurant had been true. But what could have made him want to learn it, I wonder? Me? Oh, really? Yes. He played a beautiful song in the music room the other day. It was a little difficult, but I managed to find it online. And just when I thought he'd actually become interested in something other than me, even worse, the tune he had been humming had sounded awfully familiar to the song I've been practicing. That's... Thank you. So, anything else? Have you listened to any good music lately? I don't listen to music. What? What about shows? I don't watch any. Books? Only extra readings for school and whatever non-fiction seems useful. I don't much care for the rest. Maybe he's just not into pop culture. Still, it's more than a little unsettling to hear him answer like that. Do you do anything with your friends? I always say that I'm busy. That's a good enough excuse. You don't go out at all? Sometimes, but only for birthday parties and the like. Even then I leave as soon as I'm able. Oh, you're into parties? That's definitely not something I expected from... No, I'm not. They're boring and a waste of my time. I only go if I can use the event to my advantage. Otherwise it's a bother. You at least like your clubs, right? I mean, you lead quite a few. They're useful for scholarships, I guess. But other than that, they don't really matter. Oh, but the athletics club has been a little interesting. Nice. So, what do you like about it? That's where I was able to practice cross-country. I like outrunning the others. It's been a useful skill. Very useful indeed. I'm so happy that you want to know more about me, Yandere, but that's not important. On the contrary, I want to know more about you. The things you like, the thoughts you have. Everything. That's why I started watching you at first. I liked just seeing you go about your day, making sure you were safe. But there came a point where it wasn't enough to be near you anymore. Just now. I want to be totally surrounded by you now. If I could see into your mind, know every single thing there is to know and stay with you forever. And ever. That, I think, would make me the happiest person in the world. But that wouldn't work, in my opinion. It's not really a relationship. Remember when you talked to me about your problems? I can do the same for you, right? Liev gazes silently at me for a few seconds, considering the question, then nods slowly. Yes. If you want to know more about me, you can ask, okay? But I also want to be able to ask you things. That's fine with you, right? Of course. I understand. See, this is why I love you so much, Yandere. You show me all sorts of new perspectives. Anyway, this has been a lovely chat, but we should get a move on. Newly invigorated, he takes my hand, pulling me forward. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I thought that looking into his hobbies would give me some insight on his personality, but he doesn't seem to enjoy anything that isn't purely practical or mildly disturbing. Still, I'm glad he opened up about himself for once. The rest of the walk is peaceful enough though. Liev flashes me frequent white smiles. Finally, we step through the doors of the arcade. The arcade is bustling with teens our age, engrossed in a game or crowding around the various machines waiting for their turn. I recognize a few people from my school, but I can't quite get up the courage to say hi. And despite being head boy, Liev doesn't even spare them a passing glance. I spot a shooting game nearby which gives me an idea. Liev seems very violently inclined, but perhaps he could expend that energy into a game where no one would actually get hurt. It might calm him down for a while. Maybe it would relieve stress from school. As if school is the reason why he's like that. Hey, they have a game over there you might like. You wanna check it out? He follows the direction of where I'm pointing but shrugs with an uninterested look on his face. I thought you didn't like that sort of thing. I just want you to have fun as well. Isn't that game super popular with guys right now? Have you ever watched someone play before? I remember seeing someone bring a portable console to school once. I watched them play, but it all looked just so terribly boring. The controls looked stiff and the blood effects were really just silly, just not the same. It doesn't matter. It's your turn to pick, right? You should get the final say. And I'm already enjoying myself, Yandere. I'm with you after all. Okay, I guess if that's not your thing, let's go ahead. Alright, this way. I swear, the more I learn about this guy, the more unsettled I get. Liev makes a beeline for the claw machine. Here we are. Would you like to go first, Yandere? I don't mind. Sure. I insert a coin into the slot and wait for the light to flash green, signaling the start of the game. A second later, my hand is pushing the joystick to and fro, trying to get the claw into the optimal position before pressing the button to lower it. My focus is laser sharp on the cat nestled near a back corner, standing out among the toys like a jewel in the sand. If I could just get the stupid claw in the right spot. Sweat builds up on my palms as I see that I only have a few seconds left. I do my best to maintain my grip on the joystick. You can do it, Yandere. He probably meant to be encouraging, but having his eyes on me only makes me feel more stressed. With the joystick right above the plushie, at least from where I can see, I slam my hand on the button. The claw manages to grab a limb, but it's not enough to lift the whole thing. It rises back up, moves to the front, and opens to release a non-existent prize. I guess I've gotten a little rusty. It's been a while anyway. It isn't fair, you were so close. Liev, it's fine. It's no big deal, Liev. Let's just play something else. No. You really wanted that, right? Then it's important. I'll get it for you. Stepping up to the machine, He yanks the joystick around as if testing that it's working properly, before slamming a fist on the button a few times. The sound makes me wince. Only then does he shove another coin into the slot, gripping the joystick so tight that I thought it would snap off. His eyes are eerily dull, yet intense as they focus on the claw. When it finally lines up with the prize, he holds the button, hitting it like a cat with its wriggling prey. To my amazement, the claw aims true, grabbing my plushie and dispensing it at the front. Liev swipes it and thrusts it out to me with a grin that's just a little too wide. Oh dear. Here you go, Yinny. How did you... on your first try as well? I made it less troublesome. I clutched the plushie to my chest, admiring it. Liev looks on, happy that I liked his present. Thank you so much. You really didn't have to. And sorry for making you spend even more money on me. Don't apologize, it's not a problem at all. Come to think of it, I'd read about a claw machine hack online once. It seemed cool at first, until I found out that it would stay in that mode until I'm done. Wait, do you know how to reset it? No, why does it matter? Because someone's bound to notice. What if we get kicked out for messing with the machine? We won't if we're quick. You don't understand. If not us, some employee is going to be blamed for something they didn't cause. That's not our concern. Besides, they rig these things anyway. I'm almost convinced that Liev has an issue with seeing service workers as actual people. But considering how that view seems to apply to everyone else, think of it like this. What if I was the worker who was going to be blamed? Would you still have done it? I don't know. Man, this guy is impossible. I guess I see your point. But in the end, you got what you wanted. That's what matters to me. You're right, though. I don't understand. Are you really comparing yourself to other people? Because you're nothing like them, no. Those people don't matter. You're the only person worth anything to me. My attempt at inducing even an ounce of empathy fails miserably. But what else could I have said? And I still have to decide what to do about the claw machine. Do I keep Liev's gift and bear with the guilt, or reject it and risk destabilizing him further? Maybe there's a third option. If I return the favor, that might calm him down. Even if we get caught, then I won't have to face the consequences alone. Return the favor. Stepping up to the machine again, I insert another coin. This time I aim for the cat plushie in the middle. Indeed, moving the claw is a lot easier than before. When I press the button, it sinks and grasps the prize, dispensing it at the front. Here, I hand him the plushie. He accepts it, but stares at it like I'd just shown him a living, breathing creature from a long-extinct species. He stares at the stuffed animal in his arms for a long time, mouth slightly agape. It's actually pretty cute to see. Yinny, sound it out. Take your time. Yinny, this... what do you want me to say? Well, do you like it? Oh no, I despise it. Take it away right now. Despite this, he squeezes the stuffed toy to his chest tightly enough that it could have burst. This is actually so cute. If he wasn't a potential murderer, this would be so cute. And despite myself, I can't help but chuckle at the conflict on his face. Thanks for the sympathy. No, I don't mean it like that, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Yinny, I love it so much. So much. I'll always treasure it. Always. Alright, let's dial it back, buddy. Let's take that thought and shove it back up the arse and put it away. You're at a level 10 right now. Let's go back to like level 8. I love it so much. I'm going to take it home and keep it forever and ever and ever. I'll take such good care of it. He nuzzles the plushie's head, inhaling deeply. And I'll make sure to preserve your scent so that I'll always have proof of this wonderful day. It even looks like Sibyulka. You're so thoughtful. Hearing that makes you happy, right? Tell me it does. An uncomfortable gulp seizes my throat. I'm glad you like it. So have you got a name for it? Why, Yinny, of course. Yinny. Oh, alright. Okay, calm down. I wish it really was you. Then we could be together forever and ever and ever. Nobody would be able to hurt you again. Everything would be perfect. Wouldn't you like that too? I thought that returning the favor would calm him down, but it looks like I've only made things worse. Go me. It's okay, I'm probably moving too fast. Yes, because confessing that you're madly in love with the person you've known for less than a day, moving just at the right pace. Hey, is there anything else you want to do? We can play the other games. Though I try to focus on his question, I'm immediately hit with a sharp sense of dread that someone's gonna notice the tampered claw machine. I think I'm good. Can we please go? Huh? What's wrong? Remember the machine? We should really get going. I don't want to leave it like this, but... Liev casts a cold, analytical glance to the side, as if scanning for any approaching staff. Okay, whatever you want, let's go. His reaction to the plushie was so much more intense than I expected. His reaction to everything has been so much more intense. Just what could have caused him to react so strongly? Surely, he's received gifts like that before. Surely he's been to places like this at least a few times in his life. Then again, this gift was from the object of his obsession. Of course he will put it on a pedestal. As soon as we're back in the main area, Liev points out a nearby food court. Fancy a snack? It'll be my treat. You can't treat me to everything, Liev. I have to pay for something at some point. Are you sure I'm starting to feel like a freeloader? Yinny, it really doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I want to do it. I mean, you're so kind to give me such a wonderful gift. Of course I would. Well, free food is free food, even if it is from an obsessive stalker. Stalker. Oh god, I hope no one at the arcade saw us leave. Okay, if you insist. Cool. We grab cotton candy from the old vendor who makes light conversation. Thankfully, it doesn't last too long. And thankfully, Liev seems to be in a decent enough mood that he actually humors him. The snack vendor wishes us a good date, muttering something about the youngins growing up so fast. Thank you, sir. With our snacks secured, we head off. And that was sweet of him. I guess so. He seems uninterested in carrying on with that topic, so my eyes wander searching for something else to talk about. As I'm distracted with my surroundings, Liev walks a bit ahead of me. My gaze drops to the brown-orange concrete, noting the little cracks along the path. I glimpse a small white square on the ground. Crouching down to pick it up, I realize that it's a photograph face down. Liev still had his wallet in his hand. It must have fallen out from being jostled somehow. I knew curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction did bring it back. Before I can rethink, I turn the photo over. The image catches me by surprise. The world around me blurs as I take a closer look. It features Liev as a child beside an older girl. His sister. The physical resemblance is there. They share the same delicate features, different colored hair, and Liev's eyes have a slightly sharper slant, but those were likely inherited from different parents. But that's about it. Liev's sister beams brightly, cheerful yet refined in her neat school uniform, and Liev, he almost stares past the camera, gaze flat and empty. If it wasn't for the school photo in the background, I would have thought that the two of them weren't even related. His sister seemed blissfully unaware of her impassive brother, which made the contrast between the two especially jarring. And just what the hell are those eyes? Yinny, what are you doing? Nothing. I just think you dropped something. I quickly stand up and hand him the photo. He gives it a cursory glance. Oh, this. Forgot I even had it. It was in your wallet, wasn't it? He narrows his eyes at the photo before shrugging and handing it back to me. It's not important. You can throw it away if you want. Isn't that your sister? He talked briefly during lunch about how she left years ago. Did he hold some resentment against her for that? Could that have contributed to his instability? Liev says nothing. I think back to the photo, which had raised so many questions. The most pressing one being, what could have given him those eyes? They reminded me of the pictures I'd seen in history books of soldiers with blank, unfocused stares. Seeing such a face on a young child. Oh, let's sit over there. He points to some umbrella tables near an empty carousel. Oh, sure, I guess. We sit under a blue umbrella, and I stretch out the ache in my legs. Liev tucks his wallet away, smiling sweetly at me. Aren't you hungry, Yinny? By now my appetite had waned, and I couldn't waste my food. Taking a bite of the cotton candy, I feel it turn to dust in my mouth, and I decide to test my luck. Do you miss her? Why do you ask? Here's the point. Why do I care so much about this anyway? Because if it turns out he misses her and cares, there's a shred of humanity that he might have, and it might put me more at ease. I want to help him, but is this the right way to go about it? Asking him invasive questions? I'm just curious, that's all. I thought the whole point of a date was to get to know someone better. Well, he is kind of a stalker, but at least I'm asking him to his face. He stares at me for so long that I clear my throat, wondering if he'd somehow spaced out. I guess you're right. Rebecca, she was tolerable. She treated me better than my parents ever did, at least. Your parents? They're both awful people. I don't want to talk about them. Rebecca was the golden child of the family. She excelled in everything and everyone liked her. That sounds familiar. I imagine the pressure became too much, and she reached her breaking point. As soon as she graduated, she left, as in moved out of home. As in when I came home one day, she had pretty much vanished without explanation. I think I understand why she left. My parents were forcing their future plans on her, and I must have been a hassle too. But when she was gone, things really truly went to hell. My mother's behavior grew more erratic than ever, and my father began to work longer hours just to stay out of the house. I was left all alone. The day my sister left, my mother hit me, shouted that I wasn't even her son, that she should have left me to die in the street, that she never wanted me anyway. Horror and anger thrum in my veins. Oh, poor Liev. What kind of person could ever do that to their child? And Liev's words implied that this hadn't been a one-time thing, and you haven't been in contact ever since. She's family, right? Surely there's some way she could fight for custody or something. No. I never saw her again. I don't really care anymore. It's all in the past. What matters is the present and the future, and I want to experience it all with you. That's why I hope you can stay. I know you're nothing like her or my parents. You wouldn't leave me behind or hurt me like that, right? I don't know how to answer. Still reeling from everything I've just learned. Was this something that Liev had carried for years, unable to express it at the risk of ruining his perfect image? Yinny, what's wrong? Please don't be sad. I promise it doesn't bother me at all. I'm okay. I'm so sorry. I had no idea you'd gone through something so... Maybe this explained his desperate need for love and validation. Maybe he feared that the people he cared about would abandon him all over again, so he did everything he could to prevent any possibility of that happening. I reach out to take his free hand in mine. His breath catches as his eyes go wide, but then he gives me an adoring smile as he squeezes my hand. thumb rubbing gentle circles into my skin. Oh, I love you so much, Yinny. I don't need anything else. I don't need anyone else. Anyway, I've talked for long enough. You barely even touched your food. Remembering the stick in my hand, I finally take another bite, letting the sweet fluff melt in my mouth. With the air a little lighter, it's easier to eat. Liev takes that as the cue to start eating as well. We simply sit in a relatively comfortable silence, letting the bustle of the amusement park pass us by. Even so, what I've just learned is never far from my mind. This was a boy who had suffered a grave loss and hadn't been allowed the time to properly cope. It was easy to see how that could develop into a paranoid obsessive mindset. At the same time, this was also complicated. I didn't want to spiral into such an amateur psychoanalysis of someone I barely knew. So with that in mind, I decided to focus on the now. So I reckon there's enough time for one more stop today. Since I picked last, where do you want to go? Already? The day's gone by far too quickly. I don't know how to feel about that. For one, this nightmare is almost over. I just need to make it through one last attraction. Then I can catch the train home, bolt down all the doors and windows and think about what to do next. For two, well, we've gotten to know each other really well in the course of one day. I miss being able to talk to someone so easily, you know? Ignoring the fact that the someone in question is extremely mentally unstable, I should really quit it with acting like he's some kind of freakish alien. He opened up to me about going through some pretty horrible things, so I should at least try to be a bit more sensitive. I mean, yes, but also, he needs therapy and help. I know, I'm surprised too. Hey, Yinny, I'd like to end it on a strong note. And what would that strong note be? Let's ride a roller coaster. I'm terrified of roller coasters. I'm so scared of roller coasters. Because I'm like small. When the bar goes over me, it doesn't quite like touch. And every single time the ride drops, I get freaking airtime, and that makes me want to cry. And I have cried. My voice quivers very tellingly. Do you not want to? We really don't have to if you're not comfortable. I didn't say that, I'm just scared. Very, very scared. Yinny, it'll be alright. I'll be beside you the whole way, and you can hold on to me again. I wouldn't mind that. I'm not a kid anymore. There's no need to be so terrified. Logically, there's no way I'd fall out of my seat as I once feared, and yet... No, I'm gonna see this through. I've survived this far through a date with Liev. I've talked a dangerously obsessive stalker out of his murderous urges. What's a few minutes on a roller coaster by comparison? Okay, let's go then. That's the spirit. I clutch my stuffed toy to my chest, feeling both like a kid trying way too hard to act grown up, and an overly immature adult, which I guess isn't entirely inaccurate. In a show of support, Liev smiles and does the same thing. Ready to go? Well, it's now or never, and with that we pack up our things and head off for the last stop of this crazy day. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. It didn't feel so bad to agree to it before, but now, here, where I can actually see for myself how high the track goes? No! No, absolutely not. No! I knew what I was getting into, didn't I? So why am I still freaked out? My sweaty toes, ew! Wriggle fruitlessly against the insides of my shoes. As I wage my internal war, Liev sends me a concerned glance. Yinny, are you sure you're fine? You kind of look like you're about to... I'm fine, I'm totally fine. Just excited. Excited is all. Yep, I know you're lying. In hindsight, what had been the point of pretending? We're about to get in line. Are you sure you want to go through with this? Decision paralysis is a terrible thing. And somehow it's then that it decides to set in. What to get for lunch? Nope. Whether or not to hold Liev's hand? Nah. What to do with the plushie? Not then. But whether or not to get on a stupid roller coaster? Of course that's when it happens. No. I can't decide that now. I have to think. I have to calm down. And I can't do that out here. I have to go to the bathroom. I can't even find it in myself to be embarrassed at how abruptly I'd said that. That's how bad it is. Oh, okay, I'll come with you. Are you gonna watch me pee? No, don't. I mean, I'm busting. I'll only be a few minutes. No, I don't like that. Dude, you cannot watch me pee. You cannot hold my hand while I take a piss. Dude, do you know how weird you'll look if people see you loitering outside the women's room? I'll just say I'm waiting for my girlfriend. It's true in a way, is it not? I just need you to hold my plushie, okay? They can join Yinny Jr. Fine, okay. Just tell me if anything happens. I'll break down the door if I have to. I give a nervous chuckle. He's probably not kidding. I give him my plushie and he gathers it in his arms beside his own. I better go. See you in a bit? See you soon. I can feel his eyes burning a hole on my back as I leave. Once I'm finally out of sight, I briefly consider gapping it and heading straight for the station. What stops me is the memory of Liev comforting me about my fears, constantly giving me a way out. Even considering how terrifying he can be, is it really fair on me to betray his trust like that? Maybe, yes. Didn't I want to get him help? Okay, also true. Or maybe it's just my self-preservation talking. Instead, I follow the signs of the nearest bathroom. Inside, there's a girl at the mirrors fixing her makeup. I enter the vacant stall and lock the door. I lean my head against the cool wall, finally having room to breathe. I can't believe it. I can't believe I've actually come this far. Am I really gonna survive this date? Am I really gonna make it home? I can't help but give a small laugh. This has been one hell of a day. Yeah, honestly, hanging out with Liev, probably more thrilling than the roller coaster. I can't help but give a small laugh. This has been one hell of a day. Again, a short roller coaster ride is nothing compared to what I've already done, to the possibility of getting home safe. What's stopping me from just getting it over with? The fact that I might shit my pants? Still, that had been a pretty tall drop. As I debate with myself, my phone suddenly chimes with a new text. I wonder if it's Mama, asking how the date's going. Or maybe it's Quentin sending kissy face emojis, but then I read it. Yinny, it's been 5 minutes, where are you? Dude, I'm pissing! Do you know how long it takes to go into the bathroom, pull your pants down, sit on the toilet, pee-pee, thoroughly wipe, pull your pants up, flush the toilet, go wash your hands and dry your hands? I'm not like a pressure pisser. It's more like a nervous trickle. Oh, shit, I lost track of time. But before I can even think of a reply, my phone chimes again and again and again. Are you okay? You didn't actually need to leave, did you? You're still scared. Yinny, answer me. Please, calm down. What if I was peeing and I suddenly had to take a shit? No sooner had my fingers touched the keyboard. He had sent a new message. It would be impressive if not for the context. Fingers shaking, I type out a half-baked reply. I'm just washing up. I'll be back soon. 5 minutes. Barely 5 minutes and he's already spamming me. What the hell? The second my finger hits send, my phone rings with a call. No points of guessing who from. Sighing, I answer it. Dude, what have I been farting? Hi, Liev. Is something up? I'm literally about to go back. No need to, I'm right outside. His voice sounds strained, as if he just run the perimeter of the whole park. Already? Yep, I'll be waiting. He hangs up, leaving me to stare at my screen in silence. Why, oh why, oh why? Can't he give me a break? Resisting the urge to curl up and scream into my knees, I exit the stall. The girl at the mirrors raises a brow at me, though her expression seems sympathetic. Was that your partner? They sound clingy. I give a nervous chuckle. She has no idea. I give myself a quick once-over, smoothing out the wrinkles in my clothes and brushing my hair back from my face. Okay, time to leave before Liev thinks I've been kidnapped or something. I step out of the bathroom, trying to ignore the pounding of my heart. Yiddy, you're back! Yeah, didn't I tell you to wait? I couldn't. I just couldn't. You were gone for so long and I thought you'd run away or something happened to you and I was so scared. Without warning, he pulls me in for a bone-crushing hug that knocks the air at me. Don't leave again, okay? You can always tell me what's bothering you. I can only nod against his shoulder. At the very least, I believe that. I'm okay. I can take care of myself. You didn't need to run all the way here. I'm sorry, Yiddy. I was just really worried. If anything happened to you. Sighing, I reach out to pat him on the head. His hair is silky soft between my fingers and smells faintly of vanilla. I'm fine, alright? I was just trying to calm down before getting in line. He gasps at the contact, but nods, closing his eyes and nuzzling my hand like a cat. It takes everything in me not to find it adorable. Trim away and he looks disappointed at the loss of contact. Let's just go, okay? Okay. At least he apologized, but it's not exactly nice to know that your date can't even be away from you for more than 5 minutes. Yeah! Again, it probably has to do with what he told me earlier. It's not entirely his fault. Still doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it any less creepy though. Yeah, see? We make our way back to the rides. Me with my plushie in a death grip. Ready to go? Ready as I'll ever be, I guess. If anything happens to you, you know what to do. Actually, can I ask you a favor? Anything. I hope I don't sound weird, but can you talk to me when we're in line? Just about anything other than the ride. You sound like you're about to get a job. I know, but I really do want to go. If only so I can prove that I'm stronger than this. That would just help. Yeah, of course I will. Thanks. We make our way to the end of the worryingly short line. I look at the people in front of us, how carefree and relaxed they seem. If only I could be like them. Then I could take this whole situation aside. Then I would understand how to manage this date better. Also, I find it cute that there's an unpun man ride right here. Do you like drawing? Truth be told, I'm a terrible artist. In bio, we had to draw different skulls and someone thought my ape skull was a horse head. Yikes, that's kinda rude. I know, but I think I could see it. At least it wasn't for a grade, else it would have been a problem. Liev continues to bring up mundane anecdotes to keep my attention on him. And before I know it, our conversation is interrupted by the ride operator. You two together? Ooh, lucky you, we have couple seats near the front. Wait, the front? Are there any closer to the middle or the back? Yeah, nah, sorry. Ride's pretty much full. Just great, just peachy. Now I really made myself look like a wimp, but it's too late to back out now, so I just nod in resignation. Liev threads his fingers through mine as we make our way to our seats. You okay? No, Liev gives my hand a gentle squeeze, the warm pressure calming my heart rate if only a little. It'll be over before you know it, alright? There's nothing to be scared of. Yes, there is. I respectfully disagree. But the rational part of me knows that he's right. We buckle up just as the operator passes by. They pull the handlebars down over our laps, and the reality of the situation begins to fully set in as I take a deep breath. I'm doing this. I'm really doing this. The train slowly, ever so slowly, glides up the incline, and then it stops right at the very top, along with the conversations around us. My hand is gripping Liev so tight that it must have been painful for him. When he glances at me, I see only concern. I grip my teeth, holding back tears. Not here, not now. And then we're falling. Oh, screw me. The air whips my hair out of my face. Everything is a blur. I feel like I'm gonna float out of the train. When we reach the bottom, I realize that I managed to keep in my scream. A quick glance at Liev shows that he's calm as ever. A placid smile never leaving his face. Another incline. I steel myself for the inevitable. I'm falling, floating. I laugh in pure exhilaration, closing my eyes. I'm not dead. Then the laughter turns into a scream as I'm turned upside down. You know what? I really hate roller coasters that go upside down. It is the worst. The train slows for a few moments. I don't dare to open my eyes. And then we're moving through loops and hills and turns faster than I can think. I would rather die. My blood pumps in my ears. I can barely hear my own breathing among the sounds of screams. At some point, some self-destructive instinct drives me to open my eyes. Nuh-uh. The entire park is visible from here. The awe of the view briefly, overriding the crushing fear. But then we're falling again. The incline makes my heart skip a beat. What the hell? Are we going in a vertical line? No! To make matters worse, when we reach the bottom, the train begins to twist violently from side to side. I grip the handlebars with dear life, praying that my death will be quick and painless. I would have thrown up by then. My hand has practically fused with Liev's, with how tight I'm holding onto him. His hold on me is just as strong, but a glance in his direction shows not a hint of distress on his face. Another loop, and another. So many that it makes me lightheaded. Then the train comes to a roaring stop. The world is out of focus for a few seconds. I barely register anything around me, can barely understand what Liev is saying, can barely feel the handlebars being lifted off. Only when Liev squeezes my hand do I come to. Yinny, hey, are you alright? It's over, you did it. I did. The floaty feeling remains as we disembark and collect our things. Liev's hand in mine keeps me upright as we make our way back to the main area. How was it? Did you have fun? No! Hell no! Hell no! I think I'm just glad I survived. You did great. You were so brave to face your fears like that. It's amazing. Amazing. I mean, honestly, Liev, I could fart and you would clap. Normally, this many compliments at once would have sounded kind of disingenuous. But Liev is glowing with pride, a brilliant smile on his face, and I find myself crumbling under his praise. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy right now I could kiss you. Huh? Oh, too soon. A little bit. Sorry. I just want to celebrate. May I hug you instead? Sure. I'm very wary that the affection meter keeps going higher and higher. I open my arms invitingly. Before I know it, I'm clinched in his embrace. My head pressed against his shoulder and his arms wrapped securely around my waist. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. 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 Oh, okay. Alright, release your arms. His grip tightens, and he buries his nose into my neck, inhaling deeply. I do my best to stay absolutely still, a lump catching in my throat. If I had felt any joy from the hug, all that went out the window in that moment. He releases me slowly, as if it physically pains him to let me go. I really, truly wish I could kiss you. But for now, this is enough. It's home time for you soon, isn't it? That's right. With the ride over and done with, it's late afternoon. Using my phone, I check how long it'll be until the next train. Damn it, I just missed the last one. It'll be 30 minutes till the next. Really? You are so excited. I mean, silver lining, right? There's lots of things we can do in that time. We can get ice cream or take photos or anything you want, really. Well, the garden was quite pretty and I'd like to sit down again. I kind of want to show the flowers to Mama. Is that okay with you? No need to ask, let's go. Taking my hand, Liev pulls me forward. And so we make our way from the ride area all the way back to the gardens. At Liev's suggestion, we take a shortcut. It's decidedly less populated than I was comfortable with, but there were still a few good people strolling about. Besides, for all his talk, Liev hasn't actually done anything to cause anyone any physical harm. I'm still a little on edge about him, but he does keep his word. Oh, this is nice, don't you think so, Yinny? Yeah, it's quiet and much needed after that ride. Don't think about that now, just relax, breathe in the fresh air, unless something's on your mind. No, I agree, I really needed this. Thanks, Liev. My pleasure. I feel like I kind of recognize this background. I feel like this looks like a place that I've been to in Japan. I don't know why, but it kind of looks like this one intersection in Ueno Zoo in Japan. My pleasure. We simply walk down the path in silence, listening to the birds and the grasshoppers chirping in the distance. It takes me a few seconds to notice that Liev is no longer beside me. When I turn, he's standing behind me, an unreadable expression on his face. Hey, Yinny, can I ask you something? It's very important to me. Are you gonna propose to me and then whip it out? Sure. What is it? Do you remember anything? Anything at all about? Well, look who it is. Ew! You have a lot of nerve showing your face. The stranger's eyes rake shamelessly over me, and I fight the urge to cringe. Figured you'd have chicks all over me. The suckers with a good boy act, eh? Nothing to say? You backstabbing piece of shit. Of course someone like you would sell us out. Do you have any idea what you put me through? Look, I can't really see you. You kind of look like you have like a yee-ass haircut. The guy, who I now recognize as one of the bullies, swings a heavy fist in Liev's direction, but Liev smoothly dodges him so fast that the guy nearly loses his balance. Freaking coward. His friend lunges forward, arms out to shove him. Liev is faster, pivoting away and leaving him stumbling. What the hell? Gripping his arm. Liev throws him aside as casually as if he were a rag doll. The guy lands hard on his ass, utterly stunned. I open my mouth to tell him to stand down, to warn him of the one coming from behind, but Liev is already reacting. The guy hooks his arm around Liev's head to put him in a chokehold, but he ducks just in time, elbowing him in the nose hard enough to draw tears. Then he kicks him in the solar plexus, knocking the air from his lungs and sending him to the ground. I'll be honest, this is kinda hot. The last bully is standing backed up, doing the smart thing and putting some distance between him and Liev. What's with you? Too busy sucking the teachers off to remember how to fight. I mean, what are you talking about? He's been kicking your ass. But then he turns to me. Ah, I see. You don't impress your little lady friend. Well, I don't blame you. If you whip it out and start fandangling it like nunchucks, I am going to cut it off. What's your name, baby girl? Yeah, you really settled for him. I bet it was for the money. Money? What money? You bullied me. Don't come near me. Is that right? I'm so forgetful. Say, why don't you and I head back to my place so you can tell me all about it? Ew! And I can make it up to you all night long. Ew! Yuck! Gross! Yucky! Liev does not like that. Hang on. Look at his expression change. The bully laughs at the look on Liev's face. Ooh, hit a nerve there. Scared she'll leave you for real. Oh, Liev, put that away. How about we put the blade away and you can whip your other blade out instead later, okay? Liev lunges at him, wielding a switchblade, eyes blazing with uncontained rage. The bully freezes at the sight, looking like a deer in headlights. Crap! What should I do? Sure, I really did not appreciate his comments, but at this rate, Liev will... I'm not gonna do anything this time. He sits here like that drawn man memed with the hands on the knees. I stand there as if rooted to the spot. In some way, maybe they do deserve what's coming. Or so I keep telling myself. Oh boy, the bully attempts to scramble away, but Liev is faster, hooking an arm around his neck to keep him in place. His friends move to help him, but Liev holds the blade against the bully's throat in warning. What's wrong? Go on, insult Yinny like you were doing just now. The bully can only shake terribly in his grip, a far cry from the arrogant confidence from before. What do you want from me? For you to go away? For you to eat shit? Let me go! Yinny, look, I caught him. I caught the bad guy. What do you want me to do now? Alright, Liev, let him go. Put your knife away. I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. I can't move. I can't speak. I was having a good day. But you just had to come in and ruin it, didn't you? Look, man. We can forget about everything, okay? Just let me go. If only you'd left us alone, then we wouldn't be in this situation. I see now that people like you don't ever learn. What do you... That was a sickening crunch. The sickening crunch followed by the bully's scream of excruciating pain. It lit a visceral disgust within me, but I can't look away. Liev twists his arm behind his back to torture him further, eyes shining with pure sadistic glee as he heaves out another cry of pain. Okay, you know, Garside, hack it up. The bully tries to struggle in his iron grip, but with a blade to his throat, there's nothing much he can do. His friends can only look on in abject horror, as Liev continues to twist his arm into all sorts of unnatural angles, the cracking sounds of bones echoing in the open forest. Eventually, he lowers the blade, coldly shoving the bully to the ground. Consider yourself lucky that I'm sparing your other limbs. I tell myself not to look. I can't look. I can't. For the sake of the narrative, and for, my community, please look. But then I do. Yay! Oh god, okay! Any satisfaction I might have felt for his comeuppance is gone. I suppress the urge to vomit. The bully lays sprawled on the ground, eyes glassy and wide, not moving save for heavy strained breaths. His friends crowd around him, checking that he's still conscious. Hey, Stay with me, man. We're gonna get you some help, alright? He turns towards us, leveling me with a look of pure hatred, but it quickly melts into fear when he remembers Liev. Just go. Get out of here or we'll call the cops. I feel the instinctive urge to apologize, even though the damage is already done, but I stay silent, knowing that nothing I can say will change anything. Liev's pleasant smile doesn't change either. Even as we hurry down the path until we're out of sight, the silence is deafening. The garden is even emptier than it was during my confrontation with Liev. Recognizing that I'm not in the state of mind to talk, he doesn't even try to start up conversation. There's remorse on his face, but I have a feeling it's not the kind I'm expecting. The flowers be damned. I need to sit down before I have another panic attack. I collapse onto the bench. A sudden lurch forces my body forward, my mind replaying the memory of Yinny. Liev kneels down and catches me in his arms, but I slap them away. Don't touch me! I clamp a hand over my mouth and bury my head to my knees, holding back the urge to vomit. You just broke that guy's arm. You didn't even blink. Liev's brows are furrowed in concern, as if there's anything he can do to make it all okay. I didn't have a choice, Yinny. He would have hurt you. How can he remain so calm after what he's just done? I grip him by the shoulders, staring him right in the face. Didn't have a choice. He basically surrendered, and yet you still... Why, Liev? Why do all these things? Why go so far? And don't give me that it's all for you bullshit. I never wanted this. So be honest with me for once. Why? Liev's intensely fixated gaze takes on a hollowness, his eyes seeming to pierce my very soul. It's as simple as that. Everything I've done has been for your sake. But I'm guessing you want a general answer, right? Something to explain why I am the way I am. Yes? The truth is, it's because I don't care. I can't. To me, other people's feelings have always been irrelevant. I know it might be hard to understand, Yinny. You're a kind, empathetic person. You care a lot about others. But think of it like this. You see all sorts of terrible things happen on the news every day. You might feel saddened, horrified, or maybe even angry. But only for a moment. It doesn't directly affect you after all. Most times you go about the rest of your day as normal. Now, I'm not trying to say you're a bad person. It's impossible to save everyone. You can only do so much. I'm saying that this is how I felt every moment of every day of my life. Like I was watching everything happen from behind a screen. Like nothing actually mattered. Oh dear, of course. That was until I met you. Yay? The only person who's real. The only person who ever. But when I fell in love with you too, I had to acknowledge other people are real too. To acknowledge that they might take you away, that they might hurt you. That was the first time I ever felt compelled to do something. The first time I ever became so scared, so angry. I wanted to kill him. All of them. I still do. It took everything within me not to just slit his freaking throat like a pig. I would do anything to keep you safe and happy, Yinny. Absolutely anything. If I had to murder the entire school for you, I would do it. Anything you need, anything you want. You could have gotten hurt too. You could have gone to prison. Do you really not care about that? No. None of that matters, so as long as you're safe. And as for prison, don't worry, I can lie. I've done it many times before. I don't think you could lie your way out of killing an entire school, Liev. Did it really all just come back to me? Just why was he so obsessed? What could I possibly have done to trigger such an intense, all-consuming feeling? Liev abruptly stands, offering a hand. Hesitating a little, I take it, letting him pull me up. He simply stares at me for a while, expression unreadable. How long has it been this way? For as long as I can remember, I guess. Long before I met you. I was never like the other kids. I wasn't interested in playing with them or hanging out. All I needed to do at school was study. So I stayed far away from everyone. As a result, all the other kids thought I was creepy. The teachers became concerned, and eventually word reached my parents. My father insisted on taking care of everything. He took me to appointments, got me diagnosed, prescribed me medication. The thing is, none of it seemed to work. It all only seemed to make me feel worse. Emptier. I didn't know if he was stupid or if he was really just as clueless as everyone else. Maybe he was just trying to appease my mother. But I didn't care. I just wanted to feel like myself again. On top of pushing their child to overwork himself to exhaustion. Physically and emotionally abusing him to the point that all he could think about was how to be a perfect model student. Why the hell would they put him through this? That's just... Jesus. So they turned to drugs before thinking about getting some actual help. I didn't understand either. It doesn't matter anymore anyway. When my mother got me off the medication, I'd already become dependent on it. Whoever I was before taking it, he was gone. Oh God. The withdrawal symptoms must have been... You don't want to hear the details. I want to protect you. I want to show you how much I love you, but I can't do that like a normal person would. I can't ignore what's in the way, the threats, the ones trying to hurt you. No one is trying to hurt me. Liev! But at the same time, I love you. I want you to be happy and to like me as much as I like you. So of course, I don't want to ignore what you're saying either. You're right though. I'm sorry for frightening you again. I'm not trying to make excuses. I just want you to understand. If it's what you want, I won't hurt him anymore. Really? Yes. You matter the most. I can try to let it go. Is it a bad time for me to say that he is now growing on me? Yinny, you hopeless ass. Okay. Thank you, Liev. I don't think I'll ever fully get the way you see things, but I know you just want to protect me. I'm really glad that you're willing to look at it from my side as well. The train arrives soon. We should probably go. I don't think I want this on my mind any longer. Wait. Yinny. Yes? Thank you. I know how difficult I can be, and I'm glad you still feel like you can be honest with me. No problem. Somehow, we managed to resolve the matter peacefully. Traces of foreboding still lingered within me, that some small thing would cause him to snap again, that I'll be frozen to the spot, unable to do anything. But those thoughts are soon overridden with anticipation. Anticipation to finally go home. I don't think we're getting out of this easily, and then it's time to leave. We depart the garden for the last time as the sun begins to dip in the horizon. We reach the train station with time to spare, so we decide to wait in the seating area facing the train tracks. In the distance, the late afternoon rays are already starting to fade into darkness. My parents always harped on about the dangers of staying out so late, so the sight makes me a little uneasy. Considering everything I've seen today, it doesn't seem likely that something could happen. Yes, but we have Mr. Wildcard, Liev Latané. Then again, Liev had been with me, but do I really trust him to be my protector all the time? Girl, he is like an attack dog at this point. There go my thoughts again. I'm so close to getting on the train home, so I need to stay calm. Because if Liev gets even the slightest inkling that I've started panicking again. Yinny? Yes? You seem troubled. Great, he's already noticed. It's nothing, just mentally replaying everything that's happened today. At least I'm mostly telling the truth. I squeeze the plushie on my lap, briefly sinking my face into its soft head. So, despite how I've been acting today, did you still enjoy our date? Every single second. Oh, okay. That's good. Did you enjoy it as well? I'm unsure of how to answer. It was exhausting. My social battery's about to run out. I just want to go home, have dinner, and then shut myself away in my room. Of course, it's after I make sure all the doors and windows are locked. Despite that, this was the first time I really got to hang out with someone in a long while. Liev has done his best to be a good, considerate date, despite his various issues, and mine as well. I decided to focus on the good rather than the bad. I did. I don't have any real friends at school, which is kind of pathetic at my age. But more than that, I'm really happy I got to know you better, Liev. Friend, is that all I am to you? What? No, that's not what I meant. I meant that I'm glad we can both trust each other like friends. I never got to ask, Yinny. Do you still like me? There was the inevitable question, but that didn't make it easier to answer. I think back to my original plan, back when I'd been so terrified I considered reporting him to the police. Do I still like him? Liev, I still like you. I just can't believe you'd want to stay with someone like me. I guess I do. Liev? Yinny is so kind. I don't deserve her at all. Thank you. Liev, are you okay? Yinny, there's something else. Something I wanted so badly to ask you earlier. I had so many things I needed to tell you, but they got in the way. They tried to stop me. What is going on? Now no one can get in the way. Yinny, tell me, do you remember the promise we made in year 5? No? What promise? Our promise to marry each other, to be together forever. Forever. What are you talking about, Liev? Don't tell me you forgot. After all this time, He cuts off and lets out an erratic laugh. Some disconcerting mix of excitement, apprehension, and mania. Liev, you're scaring me again. Oh dear. He suddenly pulls me in for an embrace, arms locked around me as if to keep me from escaping. I missed you, Yinny. I missed you so much. What? I don't understand. Marriage. We barely finished our first... I know, but we don't have to get married now. I can wait. Get engaged. Yes, we should get engaged as soon as possible. I almost forgot. I still need to... He goes down on one knee, reaching into his pocket and pulling out a small velvet box. What is he doing? Yinny, I love you. I love you so much. I've loved you since we were kids. I would do anything to make you happy. You're my savior. You gave me a future when my world looked bleak. You gave me reason to keep on living when nothing seemed to matter. All I ask from now on is that you stay with me forever and ever and ever, and I will be only yours. Doesn't that sound perfect? Then you'll never be lonely again. It can just be the two of us for the rest of eternity. Yinny and Liev. Liev and Yinny. Forever. Tell me, Yinny. Tell me you want to be my wife. Yinny Winters. Will you marry me? Will you promise to be mine and mine alone? My dude, no. But for the sake of the story, I'm probably gonna click yes. This isn't right. He isn't right. This is all moving way too fast. What possessed him to propose to me on the first date? Once more, I replayed the events of the day in my mind, and I said something that had given him the wrong idea, and had been too lenient on him, and now he believed that my feelings were just as intense, or... Oh my god, what have I gotten myself into? Nothing good can come out of saying yes. At best, it would quell his obsession for a short while I know that I would be bound to him. I could keep up the act until I could hopefully convince him to get some help. At worst, I would be bound to him in a literal sense, having enabled his obsession. His paranoia would only get worse and worse and worse. Would he even let me go home afterwards? But the risks of saying no can't be ignored either, and there's no taking a third option this time. Those eyes and that expression, he would never accept it. So what should I do? Alright, okay, let's accept this time and then we'll reject it later. Maybe it would be best to accept, to resign myself to being stuck with him. Oh god, I'm signing the rest of my life away to some guy I've known for less than a day. No, I can't think of it like that. I'll have another panic attack. I stood by my decisions up until now, right? No matter how painful or awkward they might have been. I should try to look at the bright side. Marrying the most popular, smartest, handsomest boy at school, some people would kill to be in my position, and then Liev would kill them. In the most violent and gruesome way possible. I would be living with someone like that for the rest of my life. No, I'm overthinking this again. I have to be firm with my decision. This is the best option. The safest option. Taking a deep breath, I seal my fate. Liev, I'll do it. I'll marry you. Just promise me you won't hurt anyone anymore. Say it again. I'll marry you. I'll give you what you want so as long as you promise to listen to me and get some help. She said it. She said it. She said it. She said it. Oh dear. Oh boy. Man, I think I am cooked. I think I am Dunyan rings. He clutched his head in his hands, hunching over and letting out a screaming laugh that echoes against the open area. My heart rate skyrockets against my palm as I clutch my chest, trying my hardest not to curl in on myself in terror. And then he jerks up, his bangs messily framing wide eyes and a psychotic grin. Finally. I'm so glad, Yandere. I can't wait for our life together. We can talk about the wedding later, but for now, let's celebrate. Let's tell our parents. I'm sure they want to know all about it. I open my mouth to speak, but with my throat seized up, nothing but a pathetic croak comes out. Yandere, are you okay? Please say something. Oh, you must be nervous, I understand. Don't worry, I'll back you up. My family. Please don't hurt my family. I wouldn't dream of it, of course. I know you want them at our wedding after all. Of course, you understand what I'll have to do if they refuse. Right? I can't let them ruin our happiness, Yandere. I won't. I'm sorry. Damn it, but let's not focus on that. You have no idea how happy I am. How much I miss you. Gosh, do we have a lot to catch up on. But I suppose today was a good start. Say, your parents wouldn't mind you staying over tonight, right? I am your future husband after all. I am so cooked. Yandere, you're crying. Are you that scared to tell them? I'll protect you. I'll always protect you. Tell you what, why don't I go and talk to them? No! They won't be able to say no to me after all, because they won't have a choice. What the hell? Ending 1. His happy end. Oh, joy! Alright, let's reject him this time. And then I think I'm gonna try and get the... Oh my god, wait, the UI changed. That's so cool. I love when there is a UI change. Alright, let's go back here and reject his proposal. No. What? I said no. I won't marry you. But Yandere, you... Standing up, I step away from him, much to his shock. No! How could I say yes, after everything I've seen? You're insane! You're freaking insane! Was this your big plan? To rope me along and make me feel sorry for you, until you could guilt me into staying? I thought there was still hope for you, Liev. That you could be better. That we could make this work. But now I don't know anymore. I can't believe you would lie about something like that. To think that one good day means I would agree to such a thing. And I'm really sorry, but I don't want to see you again ever. Please, just leave me alone from now on. What had possessed me to speak my mind so bluntly? To demand something he would never consider. Even so, the rush of adrenaline I feel almost makes that worth it. Liev doubles over with laughter, as if I've just told him the funniest joke in the world. Pure genuine mirth exudes from his expression, as if I didn't just crush his heart to pieces. It is. So funny. Pretending she doesn't remember. What? Are you even listening to me? I'm saying I don't love you. But weren't you the one who proposed? Dude, I don't even remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. You shouldn't lie to your fiancé, Yandere. Fiancé? Listen here. He sighs. Guess I didn't have any other choice. The world moves in slow motion as he draws a syringe from his pocket and uncaps it. Hold still, Yandere. His voice holds none of the tender affection from our date. The romantic tone is gone, replaced with a shell of a person. Don't touch me! Ignoring my protest, he advances towards me. Posture military straight and expression devoid of anything. Talking hadn't worked. Screaming hadn't worked. He's beyond reason now. I have to move. Dodge. But which way? Which way? Backwards. I stumble backwards as he swings the needle down, to no avail. Liev covers the distance between us in a single step, and an empty smile on his face. Cold comfort. The needle slides into my neck. the pain barely registering over the sinking feeling in my stomach. I'm gonna die. He's gonna kill me and there's nothing I can do. Liev pulls me to slump against him as he injects me with the drug. For all it's worth, I wish things had turned out different. The world around me is a blur of colors. I can just barely make out the canopy of the building across. I try to pull away, but Liev's grip is far too strong, and whatever he's done to me has relaxed the muscles in my arms. He keeps me locked in place, unable to escape, barely able to struggle. What did you do? He simply draws my head to rest against his shoulder, gently stroking my hair. It'll be okay, Yandere. Just relax. His voice is so soothing. It's a Herculean effort to not give in. I try to lift my hands to wrench his arms off me, grab his face, anything to get him away. But it's as if I'm Atlas struggling against the weight of the sky. No. Leave. Why? It's too late. Far too late. My body can do nothing but go slack against him. I'm sorry, Yandere, but there's no other way. His voice rings in my ears as my vision fades. The last thing I feel is Liev pressing a kiss to my forehead before I fall unconscious. Man! When I come to, I'm lying in bed with my duvet on top of me. There's a strange heaviness to my right wrist and I wiggle it, thinking I'd fallen asleep while reading again. My eyes widen at the realization that I've been cuffed to a side table and that this isn't my room. Good evening, Yandere. I jerk at the sound of a familiar voice. You're finally awake. Did you sleep well? Why am I here? What is this place? Everything comes back to me in an instant. The date. The truth about him. How things had ended. Oh, no need to be so worried. We're at my house. This is my sister's old room. He points towards the table. And look, I made you dinner. You've been out cold for the past few hours, so you must be starving by now. There's a steaming plate of funky pizza sitting there. But what does that change? I don't dare take my eyes off him, frozen like a deer in headlights. He gestures towards the meal again. Do you not like? What are you gonna do to me? Nothing. I'm not gonna hurt you, Yandere, I swear on my life. He leans in as he speaks, likely trying to be reassuring, but I recoil on instinct, my back pressing against the headboard. Then explain why I'm chained to a table. Why I'm here. Why? Why? Why did you reject me at the station? Everything was perfect. I don't understand. Your marriage proposal. Leave. This was our first date. And what did you mean by you proposed first? But you did. We were 10, remember? I remember it like it was yesterday. It changed my life. It gave me reason to keep living. That doesn't answer my question. Why? Language, Yandere. I thought today would jog your memory, I really did. Flowers? So many flowers. Didn't that garden remind you of anything? You don't even remember who I am. I suppose it has been a long time. There's no way. Of all people. Look, I'll prove that I'm telling the truth. This is something you gave me just before you left. He pulls out the velvet box from his pocket, pressing it to his chest. And he opens it, taking the contents into his palm. There's a flower ring inside. Wilted, but clearly preserved with great care. Something about it is oddly familiar. Horribly so. Like I've just remembered something extremely important. A missed deadline. Or a long-lost friend. My vision clouds over. So the reason the head boy has been so obsessed with me, it's all too much. Too much. How can I be calm right now? I'm chained up in a stalker's house, all because of something I impulsively said all those years ago. How did I miss the signs? The long stairs. The repeated visits to the gardens. The way he was so comfortable around me, like he had known me for years. How could I forget about him? Yandere? Yandere, are you okay? I'm so sorry, this is a lot to take in, but you had to remember. You believe me now, right? Right? I do or I don't? Let's go with I do this time. I believe you. I'm sorry for forgetting, but this isn't the answer. Leave, please. Liar. Liar! I flinch at his volume, cowering into the wall, and his rage now directed at me. Just as quick, he steps back, realizing what he's done. I didn't just... Did I? I promise I'd never be like her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I suppose it was inevitable. The apple never falls far from the tree. Anyway, Yandere is kind. She'll forgive me. You have to understand, Yandere. I need you. You're my reason to live. I endured all those years hoping, praying I would see you again. So I have no other choice. But now you're confused, Yandere. You've forgotten how things were supposed to go. Still, this is salvageable. What? What are you gonna do to me? You make it sound so scary. All I want is for you to understand. To remember our promise. Your promise. And then we can make good on it. Hello, live somewhere far away where no one can take you from me. You don't really mean that. Do you? Just let me go home. What do you mean? This is your home now. Why me? Oh no. Don't cry, please don't cry. Yandere, why wouldn't I choose you? You're the only person who makes me feel anything good at all. I was so unhappy before you came back, Yandere. You're all I care about, right? So there's no need to worry, I would never break our promise. And I know that you wouldn't either. That's why you asked me out in the first place. You knew deep down that we were always meant to be. I love you so much. I'll wait however long it takes for you to say it back to me. Leave. You need help. Actual help. You're not well. I want you to get better, I really do, but I'm not qualified to be that person at all, so please, let me go. No, I can't do that. I love you, Yinny. You're the only one who matters to me, the only one. He won't listen. Why can't he just listen? If you love me so much, then why are you keeping me locked up? So I can be your vanity project. It's nothing like that. Yinny, you mean the world to me. Put that away. But because of that, because of our date, I see what I have to do now. I have to protect you, even if it means holding you here. Isn't this good for you as well? You never ever have to be alone again. I'll take good care of you. I'll cook all your favorite meals, buy anything you want, keep you up to date on the material at school, hang out with you every single day. You won't have to lift a finger as long as you're here, and you won't ever be lonely again. He's insane. Completely. Irredeemably insane. Is there really no way to change his mind? Wait, it's a long shot, but it's all I have. You're not as smart as I thought you were, Liev. You don't really think your parents will be gone forever, do you? How exactly do you plan to explain this to them? Not to mention Rebecca. She'd be horrified if she knew what you'd done. You're so funny, Yinny. Did you forget that I have a car? Shit. Not to mention a way to calm you down if need be. He takes out the syringe from his pocket, uncapping it. The needle glints as if it's mocking me. Turns out, my father ended up being good for something after all. Hey, Yinny. Did you know that Rohypnol helps with anxiety? Your muscles get all relaxed. So this way, you'll never have to be tense ever again. Unhinged. Unhinged, but he still kind of looks like L from Death Note, and I kind of dig it. Oh. But I do need to consider the tolerance and possibility of you getting addicted. But don't worry. I'm nothing like him. Nothing at all. I'll be much more careful with you. Yinny, say something. I'll leave you to settle in. Just call me if you need anything. Okay? No, he can't do this. I can't let him. Your food's gone cold. Let me get you some more. Just let me go, Liev. Please, Sorry about this, Yinny. Oh, you look so peaceful right now. Sweet dreams, okay? We'll do lots of catching up tomorrow. God damn! I know. I'll make arancini. Much better than that restaurant's. You hated it too, right? So expensive for such mediocre food. And the staff, they're just... Please don't kill the staff. What was that? I saw like a flash. Well, you know. Oh, one last thing. Your letter to me. Oh, what a beautiful, perfect, romantic letter. But memorized word for word. I'm sorry, though, that I had to use it in such a twisted way. The flashes are so intimidating. Your handwriting was so much fun to learn, Yinny. What? What did you do? Wasn't as fun as making you seem so hopeless, though. Tired. What did you do? I never want to feel like that again. Did he fake a suicide for me? It was all worth it in the end. Now no one can try to come after us. You monster! Good night, Yinny. I love you. I can't believe you did that. That's insane! Ending 3A. Cold feet. What the hell? Right, one more thing. Reject this proposal again and move to the right, because we get different dialogue. Right. I swerve right as he swings the needle down. It narrowly misses my neck, a sharp flash in the corner of my eye. Liev's eyes go wide and I push past him to try to run. Just as quick, he grips my forearm to pull me back in. He still wields the syringe, fully intent on realizing his goal. No! My eyes zero in on the needle and my heart drops. I don't have any way to defend myself, why would I? I never could have anticipated that things would turn out like this. The tears spill down my cheeks before I can stop them. I don't want to die. I don't want to die, please! Liev's lip trembles. The hand with the syringe shakes ever so slightly. I'll make this quick. If you just stop struggling. I knock the syringe out of his hand, far enough that it drops on the platform out of reach. Liev's shocked expression brings me a moment of triumph before I sink back into panic. I slowly retreat as he fixes his gaze back on me. You tricked me. I knew. I knew you were smart, Yinny. Put that away. I can't stop now. I knew I should have kept that. Liev lunges towards me, a feral desire in his two bright eyes. I narrowly managed to escape his grasp, backing towards the wall. Come now, Yinny. As fun as this has been, we can't drag it out all evening. Just stop struggling and this won't have to hurt. Before he can corner me, I move to the side and around the waiting chairs, stepping backward, until the back of my shoes were against the platform ledge. What are you doing? The train. It'll be here any minute. You wanna take your chances? Okay. Alright, come on. Let's stop giggling. He vaults over a chair, landing far too close to me. I clutch my chest, vainly trying to calm my racing heartbeat as he slowly approaches. I'm frozen in place. There's nowhere to run. Not unless I want to risk being run over on the tracks. That's it. See, Yinny? Liev would never hurt you. Still holding the knife, he slides his arms around me, pulling me close and nuzzling the top of my head. The adrenaline of being chased, coupled with the gentle way he holds me, is a strange feeling to say the least. Regardless, I'm stiff as a board, staring into the station windows, praying that someone will see me and help me. I was afraid that I'd have to use that on you, but now you finally seen reason. I knew you loved me too. Let's go home, okay? No. I can't. I don't want to. No! I squeeze my eyes shut as I shove him away as fast as I can. The force of the shove propels me forward, and I bury my head into my knees as I try to stop hyperventilating. I can't go with him. I won't. I won't. I won't. I won't. The sound of a train horn forces my eyes open and I glance towards the tracks on instinct. Did I push him? Oh no. I stare at what just happened. Shock would be the wrong way to describe it. It was beyond that. Denial would be more fitting. After all, who would want to believe that they just watched someone be crushed? Yikes! My eventual turn to reality is not a kind one. When I fully register the gory scene before me, I try to suppress the urge to vomit, and fail. My lunch spills all over the brick ground as I retch over and over. Tears of strain and horror streaming down my face. I must be dreaming. This must be some horrible nightmare. But deluding myself is useless when I can see Liev's remains just a few meters away. Still. Barely. Breathing. No! Oh dear lord. I actually feel kinda bad. I don't justify his actions, but I really would have liked for him to get some help. She's gone. I failed. How could I make her hate me so much? I tried to tell you. I really did. About 8 years ago. About that promise that changed my life. You know, if you approached me like a normal dude without doing any other stuff, I would have fallen head over heels for you. So why can't you remember me? Okay, now I'm feeling bad. I still remember when we met. You came to me in my hour of need and offered to be my friend. I should have spent more time with you back then. Maybe all of this would never have happened. Maybe we could have been together. I suppose it's not all bad. I got to see you again after all. Thank you, Yinny, for today. For everything. I've always loved you and I always... Okay, now I feel really bad. Okay, now I'm sad. Oh no, I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want him to get hurt. Oh, I didn't want him to die. Oh, I feel like I did. I'm gonna see if there's another ending that we can get. If we try to keep the affection a little lower than 10. Okay, so we stop the fight here. We take the blade. And we actually slip it into our bag. And our affection is now at 6, so I'm gonna see if that changes anything towards the end. Alright, we are now at the station, and we're talking about the switchblade. I did keep the switchblade. Surely he's noticed by now that his pocket is a lot lighter. Should I put my trust in him and given it back? But if I did, he might have gone ahead and hunted those guys down anyway. Here go my thoughts again. I'm so close to getting on the train home, so I need to stay calm. Because if Liev gets the slightest inkling that I've started panicking again. Yinny? So, despite how I've been acting today, did you still enjoy our date? It was the best day of my life. Yinny's so kind and thoughtful, I wish we could go on dates every day. Well, maybe every day is a bit of a stretch. And don't you have your after school stuff? I don't care about that, I just want to be with you. Hey, don't neglect all your duties because of me, Mr. Head Boy. Fine. If Yinny says I have to be responsible, then I guess I'll be responsible. I'll hold you to that. Did you enjoy it as well? I'm unsure of how to answer. It was an experience to say the least. Despite that, this is the first time I really got to hang out with someone in a long while, and he's done his best to be a good considerate date. I decided to focus on the good. I did. I don't have any real friends at school, which is kind of pathetic. But more than that, I'm really happy I got to know you better. Friend is all I am to you. What? No, that's not what I meant. I meant that I'm glad we can both trust each other like friends. I never got to ask Yiddy, do you still like me? There was the inevitable question, but that didn't make it easier to answer. I think back to my original plan, back when I'd been so terrified I considered reporting him to the police. Liev, I still like you. I just can't believe you want to stay with someone like me. Good. That is... good. Okay, so if the affection is lower, it seems like his reactions are a bit more tempered. A long awkward silence falls between us. I alternate looking around idly and glancing at my phone for the time. I hear Liev shifting beside me and look to his side. He's fidgeting, staring down at his lap with a look of anxiety or discomfort. Are you okay? I don't want you to leave. You'll see me on Monday, plus we have each other's numbers, right? That's different. We'll both be so busy, we'll barely have time to see each other. I'll have to go back to following you around. What? I internally wince. Right, about that. Can we talk about that? You doing that makes me really uncomfortable. Yinny, I just want to make sure you're safe. I get that, but imagine if someone was following you around. Would you be flattered? No, exactly. Look, I really appreciate the sentiment, but can I be completely honest with you? I want this relationship to work out, but there's a lot we need to discuss. I just hope I don't hurt your feelings. It's about me, isn't it? Yes, I want this relationship to work out as well, so understand. I know I'm not well. Just promise you won't hate me, please. I'll change however you want me to, just don't ever leave me again. Again? Oh, you forgot. Forgot what? We used to be friends in primary school. Before you left. Before everything. We were? So you really did. I just said that out loud, huh? Here, let me remind you. I tense up as he reaches into his pocket, expecting him to pull out another weapon and press it against my throat as punishment for stealing his knife. But instead, what he holds out is a wilted flower ring. It does seem familiar, but why? If Liev and I attended the same primary school, then I'd given that to him. In the depths of my memories, there's a boy with blank eyes. Ever studious, he ignored everyone who wanted to play with him, even me at first. But I've been so stubborn, I thought that deep down he was just shy. And even back then, I liked to meddle in things that weren't my business. I told off a group of kids for bullying him like a teacher's pet. Their words, not mine. Only then did he finally cave. Why can I suddenly remember things so well? It's as if that ring was the final push that allowed me to understand some insurmountable math problem. On my last day before we moved, I cried so much. Promised all my friends that I would call, that I would never forget them. Then, that's probably why I tried to forget. After all, who would want to remember such an embarrassing thing that they asked their crush? Of course, his mysterious nature had been so appealing. Of course younger me folded, had delusions of fixing him even. Let's make a promise. When I come back, let's get... Yinny, do you believe me now? Is that the whole reason why? Yes, I can't express enough how happy I am to meet you again. Yinny, I've been so alone. Without you, I'd be better off. But none of that matters now. None of it. Let's stay together and fulfill our promise, okay? Slow down. Liev, why didn't you say anything earlier? I was waiting for the perfect moment. This felt the most appropriate. That's not the whole story, is it? Look, Liev, I know that this promise is incredibly important to you, but would you rather I answer with what you want to hear or the truth? Is that it? No, tell me. Who do you want? The me from year 5 or the me right now? I just want you. You're the only one that can make me happy, and I want to make you happy as well. Is that wrong? Do you need me to change? You think the things you did today made me happy? Liev, this is the most terrified I've ever been in my life. Threatening and hurting people, saying so many things, and let's not forget stalking me. You call that love? You really want this to work out? Then listen to what I'm saying. Our promise isn't an excuse for you to act like this. I know it's not just that. Your parents were terrible, and I don't blame you for feeling the way you do. But that doesn't justify it either. Yeah, tell him off. Do you understand? I can't pretend I'm okay with this anymore. I'm sorry. Was that really the right call? The look in his eyes. My heart is firm. If he really loves me as much as he claims to, then... I'm scared. Yinny, why did you leave? I don't blame you either, but after you left, I was so alone. There was so much of everything. And there still is. God, I shouldn't even be alive right now. She was right. I'm not even really her. I'm a monster who shouldn't have everything I do. I know that. But what else can I do without you? That's all I do. He buries his face in his palms as he collapses to his knees and sobs. Okay, well now I feel bad. Now I feel like a dick. I never expected him to take it well, but there's a moment where I feel like the worst person in the world. I want to reach out, comfort him, and tell him everything's okay. But that won't help now. I've broken a dam of emotions and I can't take that back. In the end, all he wants is for someone to understand him. The things he's said are too similar to my darker thoughts. I should have never come back. I don't belong here anymore. How I wish someone would tell me otherwise. Maybe I should be that person for him. Oh no, he would do the same for me after all. Liev. I kneel down and reach out to take his hand. He stiffens but ultimately allows me to do so. The way I see it, you have two options. You can either keep obsessing over the past, or you can look towards the future. Do you honestly believe that, Yinny? Or are you just placating me again? I believe that you can be better. You've done so for me, haven't you? No matter how terrible those bullies were, you didn't hurt them. You've been everything that you tell me I am. I stand by what I said. You're not a monster, Liev, but we need to make a new promise. I'll stay with you. But in exchange, will you promise to do everything you can to help yourself? His sobs fade into ragged breaths as he stares at me, confusion clouding his eyes, and then he pulls me into a hug. Aww. The unexpected contact makes me tense up. But he just sags into me, all the energy drained from his voice. A normal person would have taken the chance to run. I don't understand you at all, Yinny. Well, I am not normal. I have problems, Liev. That you can still be so kind to me. I guess that's why I love you so much. Alright, yes, I promise. Let's be together and support each other forever. Does this mean you'll also? I want to get better too, no matter the cost. Trust me, this anxiety thing is kind of crippling for my mental health. Despite how exhausted he looks, Liev laughs, a clear, genuine laugh. Oh, yay! Not if I get better first. When did this become a competition? When I said so. Here we go. As head boy. Yep, I hereby declare us enemies. Opponents. Belligerents. Pulling out all the stops, huh? Or is that just your thesaurus? Is that a thesaurus in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Silence. I will not be charmed by you. Of all people to say that. Okay, maybe a little bit. Acceptance is the first step. Hey, that's not it. Isn't it denial? Or have I mixed up the stages? What the heck are we even talking about now? You know, if we're gonna be enemies, shouldn't you let go of me? No. He draws back and clutches his chest dramatically, swooning. I've already lost. Getting this close with the enemy. That's a no on letting go, by the way. As if that wasn't obvious. Hey, Yinny. Yeah? Thank you. I never thought things could turn out like this. No problem, and thank you as well for hearing me out till the end. I wasn't too harsh, was I? If I said anything stupid... No, you're absolutely right. It'll be a long, difficult road, but I can't stay this way forever. I need to change. But it won't be so bad now that you're with me. I hope I can be the same for you. Oh, yay! We get a happy ending! I can't believe that things turned out like this either, but I can't really stay hung up about it. when he's smiling at me so sincerely with all the trust and affection in the world. Maybe I can't return to that blissful childhood where I never had to worry about being lonely. It's personal, unequivocal support is enough. Doubtless, we're gonna have our bad days, but he's right. Shared sorrow is half a sorrow, after all. I hear the hissing sound of the train pulling into the station and realize now, this day is really over. I squeeze Liev's hand. I'll see you on Monday, alright? Alright. See you. Drive safe, okay? I'll call you when I get home. Okay. Have a good shift tomorrow, Yinny. Thank you. You better get all the rest you can, alright? I will. Oh, he's like a puppy. And with that, we finally part ways. Liev waves me off as the train departs on its journey back to town. If only I could talk to people as smoothly as I had then. If I keep this up, there's my career sorted as a motivational speaker. But I'm safe now, and I made it through the date. But now that's enough. I squeeze the plushie to my chest. I know I'm gonna need it to fall asleep tonight. I should be happier, less scared of him, more understanding. I know he can be reasoned with, and that he truly doesn't want to hurt me, but I still have so many questions. Who is Liev Latané? What could have caused him to turn out like that? Is there really nothing he wouldn't do for me, as selfish as it sounds? What exactly have I gotten myself into? How do I know that Liev will keep his word, and there's nothing I can do now? As my head sinks against the railing, I realize how little that bothers me. I need to save my energy for work. I can worry about my unconventional love life on Monday. Eventually, I close my eyes and allow myself to drift off to the dull whir of the train. One last thought crosses my mind through the haze. What? I never told him I had work tomorrow. Wait, that's right! I never mentioned the shift ending. A chance. I like this ending though. I like this ending because there's like hope for the future and hope that he'll get better. Because like I don't condone the actions that he's done at all whatsoever. I think it's good that he gets a chance to better himself. Okay, so we are missing ending 4 and ending 6. I did end up getting ending 3B, which was actually very similar to ending 3A, like Cold Feet, which was the one where he traps you in his bedroom. Only for 3B, I picked all the really bad options that had -8 in affection, as opposed to having 12 in affection. So there wasn't like too much variance there, but I do want to find ending 4 and ending 6. Alright, so we are at the true ending, I believe. So this is after everything that's happened. We are on 6 affection points, and now we are having the confrontation at the train station. Was that the right call? The look in his eyes. My heart is firm. If he really loves me as much as he claims to, then... Yinny, why did you leave? I don't blame you, but after you left, I was so alone. I wanted so badly to be like you. Kind, empathetic, and human, but I can't. No matter how I try, I'll never be able to. I shouldn't even be alive right now. She was right. I'm not even really her. I'm a monster who shouldn't have everything I do. I know that. I can only stand there shell-shocked. I shouldn't be. But despite his claim to the contrary, he's still... There's a moment where I feel like the worst person in the world. I want to reach out and comfort him and tell him everything is okay. But that won't help now. I've broken a dam of emotions and I can't take that back. In the end, all he wants is for someone to understand him. The things he said are too similar to my darker thoughts. I should never have come back. I don't belong here anymore. How I wish someone would tell me otherwise. Maybe I should be that person for him. He would do the same for me after all. Liev. I kneel down and reach out to take his hand. He stiffens but ultimately allows me to do so. The way I see it, you have 2 options. You can either keep obsessing over the past, or you can look towards the future. Okay, so I think this bit is still the same. Yeah, so we make a new promise, and then his subs fade into ragged breaths as he stares at me, confusion clouding his eyes. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh dear. This is worse than before. He shouldn't be able to laugh like this, given how hard he's just been crying. But he is. Through labored breaths, head in both hands, he screams and screams of laughter. I feel traces of hope melt back into terror. I back away, clutching my chest as if that would do anything to calm my heartbeat. Not myself. You're so optimistic, Yinny. What do you mean? Yinny, I'm not just fishing for your kindness. I really am a monster who shouldn't exist. My mother had every right to hate me as much as she did, after all. I'm not even really her son. I mean, she had no right to hate you. I've never met my real mother. I feel bad for him. I wondered if I would have been happier with her when Vera told me the truth because of this mistake. Vera spent years trying to correct me. Hence the medication. And look how well that worked. I feel really bad for him. And that's all I am. A freak accident. I can't change, Yinny. Because I can never understand what it's like. I'll keep being creepy, being paranoid, wanting to hurt people. I'll keep wanting you all to myself. I even planned to take you home if all else failed. I never deserved you. Oh boy, I've been so scared to hurt you all this time, and yet... I'm sorry, Yinny. I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. His cheeks are raw from how hard he's scrubbing at his tears. Liev is hyperventilating, gaze totally unfocused, and he suddenly straightens up, a disturbing piece to his smile. You deserve to be happy. Take my knife. Take me somewhere deep in the forest and slit my throat. He tugs down his collar and puts 2 fingers to his neck. Right here, okay? I'll die quickly. No! Liev? Liev, we are gonna get you some help. Yinny, you don't have to be afraid anymore. Here, I'll show you how to... Stop it. Liev. He stares through me as I step closer to him, silently accepting his fate. But I wrap him in a hug. He stiffens, unable to return it, maybe unwilling to for once. Wyatt, I'm sorry about everything that happened to you. You deserved a better family. Parents that let you be your own person. I wish we could have spent more time together back then. Don't blame yourself, Yinny. You're kind and... I'm not some pure saint, Liev. We're both lonely, aren't we? Honestly, I'm not sure this is a smart decision either. But I want to trust you and I believe you can do better. Aww. But I plan to kidnap you, Yinny. You should hate me. But I don't. I want to see the real you, and if this is who he is... I just don't understand how you could be so kind. Then I'll accept it. But is this who you want to be? All I want is to protect you. I was stupid. So stupid to think that could work. And I don't want to hurt you either, so please will you listen to me? How utterly ridiculous. You stay despite everything. You're holding me. I bury my face in his neck. Okay, oh dear, oh my goodness. Oh dear. His grip on me turns to iron as he lets out peals and peals of insane laughter. There's nothing I can do except keep my arms around him. Even as chills pierce my spine, even as his screams echo into the waning sunset, I can't imagine what he must be experiencing right now. And even if none of it was my fault, I can't help but wonder what things would be like if I'd stayed. Would he really have been better off? Also, this music is giving me major Kingdom Hearts feels. And it's like really hitting my heartstrings. Eventually his laughter fades into choked sniffles and he shakily draws me closer as he murmurs into my shoulder. Why do they all leave? I just want to be good enough. To be normal and happy and say I love you and I love you so much but nothing will ever be quiet. That's okay, Liev. If being with me helps you, I'll stay. Are you still afraid of me? Yes? Do I still have a reason to be? What should I do, Yinny? Please. We both need help. I know that much. It won't be easy, but we have to try. We can look for therapists in town. Someone who's nothing like your father. We don't have to rush into it. We can start with an appointment every month. I'll have to take their medicine. This will be different. If something isn't working, you can stop taking it. Find something better. I promise I'll never force anything onto you. How do you know so much about this? Research. A lot of research. I'm tired of hiding. I want to change for the better as well. Liev, can you promise me that you'll try too? Not just for me, but for yourself as well. Oh, okay. Okay, seems like this is the ending where he'll actually get a chance at being happy. Yes, you have my word. He doesn't even say he'll try. This time he just says yes. His tone is a mix of resigned and relieved. He's been defeated, but now he no longer has to bear his cross alone. I'm the same in a way. Thank you. Thank you for everything, Yinny, from the bottom of my heart. He nuzzles my cheek with his, and that familiar flush creeps onto my face. This time, no longer followed by discomfort. Thank you, Liev. Me. I didn't. You remembered me. You don't know how much A lump builds in my throat. If anything is stupid, it's me for being so... Don't hide your feelings, Yinny. He reaches a gentle hand up to stroke my cheek and I choke up. I love you the most when you're being truthful. And isn't that an important part of therapy? I pressed my face into his shoulder like it would stop the tears. You're everything I could ever want, but you're still human. You're allowed to be upset in how things turned out. Unlike you, I'm terrible with emotions, but I promise to help however I can. That's self-deprecation again. Does he not recall the past few hours? The same goes for you. Stop saying that, Liev. You're wonderful. I squeeze him tighter, refusing to let him hold on to that notion. Liev breathes, a cross between a laugh and a scoff, but doesn't argue. He just sags into me and I let him rest a while, running my fingers through his hair every now and then. It occurs to me that I've definitely missed the other train, but the thought passes without a single flare of panic. Eventually, Liev sits up, offering a hand that I take. We stand and he gives me a real smile, devoid of the desperation that laced so many others. And I smile back. My offer still stands, by the way. Would you like me to drive you home? Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah, I would. The drive is comfortably quiet, with Liev frequently shooting me adoring glances. With the lack of conversation, it's easy for me to doze off. When we finally reach home, he hurries to open the car door for me, but doesn't ask to come in. Have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Yinny? He faces me, gaze drawn to my lips. It's silly considering what just happened, but the implication makes me blush, makes me a little curious. He gently cups my face, which proves almost too much, and I look down to focus on his jersey, but the tender strokes of his thumb calm my heart rate, and as he leans in, I close my eyes. Then he presses a kiss to my forehead. Aww, that's so cute. That was so adorable. When the cherry blossoms bloom, it means impending doom. That was a shared sentiment between school and the city, and here they signal the approach of the dreaded external exams. But today, having left that hall for the last time... Yinny, are you with me? Oh, sorry, just lost in thought. What were you saying? Congratulations on the scholarship. I knew you could do it. Well, the process was a lot easier with the chronic overachiever helping me out. And speaking of overachiever, thank you. You're not doing too bad yourself, you know? Understatement of the century. The multiple trophies, the layer around his neck, and the many certificates he received were proof enough. In fact, I should be congratulating you, Liev. Holy crap. 4 rides to 3 unis. Which one are you gonna... Wherever you go, of course. Speaking of uni, I decided what I want to study. His eyes brighten and he leans in closer. I'm taking the plunge. I'm gonna study psychology. Yinny, you'll be brilliant. His grin is filled with more pride and affection than I could ever fathom. Says our future doctor. He flushes and averts his eyes, subconsciously fiddling with the lei. I just chose the most lucrative option. I want to support you as much as possible after all. Same here. We're in this together, remember? He looks surprised for a moment but melts into a gentle smile. You're right. We sit together in comfortable silence for a small while, letting the buzz of fellow diploma-wielding seniors pass us by. How do you feel, Yinny, about being done? Honestly, it still doesn't feel real. Like the moment we leave campus will be our last as high school students. What about you? His contemplative expression dulls. I never thought I'd make it this far, you know? He saved me again by moving back. I thread my fingers through his, coaxing him to let go of the lei. He squeezes my hand back. Same here. I'm glad I met you again, Liev. That beautiful flush blooms on his cheeks again, but this time he doesn't resist it. Oh, shoot, my family! They're definitely wondering where we went. They'll be in the hallway, so we're not too far away. You really don't mind me. My parents keep asking when you'll visit again, and Quentin, against all odds, you actually make him want to start trying at school. Now come on. Okay, I'm so happy that things worked out. The day since that fateful date had been a blur, but I don't find that a bad thing. For once, I've had things to look forward to. Liev's vibrant presence to look forward to. Of course, some days are still bad. Some days he'll relapse into paranoia and possessiveness the same way I'd fall back into self-deprecation and hyper-awareness. But we take things one step at a time. He's soothingly logical and patient as he listens to me vent about my day, and I do my best to be the same way for him. High school was scary, and the future looming ahead is even more so. Even now, I have the occasional fear that things won't work out and I chose the wrong path. But for now, for the sake of my youth, I'll let it go. With him by my side, we'll see what the future holds. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so glad things worked out well. True ending. Yay. Oh, I'm so happy. This is great. That was so good. I'm missing one ending. I don't know how to get ending 4, so if anybody actually knows how, please let me know in the comments below. I tried so many times and I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm actually quite happy that we've gotten 1, 2, 3, A, 3, B, 5, and 6, like the true end, which I really wanted. This was amazing. I'm so happy that I got the chance to play something like this. This was gorgeous. It was beautifully written. And I love how strong Liev's character was and how the character arc progressed. It was done so well. And I really liked his background as well. You feel so sorry for him and everything that he's gone through, but you just can't condone it because he's also doing some terrible things. I loved that while there were some endings that ended terribly, there was also endings that made him redeemable. I like that it wasn't an immediate fix as well. Like it wasn't just like, oh, blink and now he's okay. And it still mentions that like, oh, these things take time and take love and patience to work on, which I feel like is something that he really didn't get in his childhood. So yeah, I love this. I love this. I'm so happy. Massive props to Lucia Lily for making such a wonderful and beautifully written game. I'm getting like kind of emotional here and like kind of teary. This is really good. I had so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the story as much as I did. Thank you so much for coming along with the ride. If you guys like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. When I hang out outside of videos, I stream on Twitch 3 times a week. Feel free to come over and hang out. But that's all for now. I need to go and decompress from this incredible game and maybe get a snack. But I'll see you guys in the next video. And until next time, take care.